Cheers to
Cheers.
episode 210.
210.
Coffee. Wow, it's a bad decision, Grant.
Coffee.
Evan, you drink your coffee black?
Yep.
Just checking.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying
I drink my coffee black on the weekdays,
no, you don't.
but on the weekends I get a little creamy. Is there a problem with that? On my life, I drink it black this past 5 days. On the weekdays I do.
You still having an espresso every day?
Yeah. Well, when I say coffee, I guess that's what I'm referring to.
It's fancy.
I guess. I don't think they're that different than like a Keurig machine.
It's more expensive.
A little bit more than a pot of coffee, no doubt. But they make like, if you go to Costco, they have a huge Starbucks pack.
I don't go to Costco.
Wholesale, and you can.
I have that pack though.
The Nespressos are basically a full coffee, like 7 ounces. It's like a coffee. Some are like shots of espresso. Some are not. What are you guys drinking?
One. Strawberry banana body armor.
Strawberry banana body armor. Milo's.
Yep.
Nice. Is that Milo's? Is it just original flavor iced tea, or is there like with lemonade, or what is it?
Just 0 calorie sweet tea.
Alex, you should get a headset like Evan's. I think that is the most comfortable podcasting position. Nothing?
Come on, Alex.
Nothing.
If I didn't tell you I didn't have a mic, you wouldn't be complaining right now.
No. But to the listeners that have probably thought in their car or wherever they are, wow, Alex sounds a little quiet. Especially last show.
No one's ever told me that. And I get a lot of texts after each show. And no one ever says anything about my volume.
Maybe it's me. Maybe I have like just sensitivity to volume. Could be.
You are a dictator on this podcast, that's for sure.
We have to run a tight ship. We have to.
He does all the work, Alex. We should listen to what he does, what he says.
We have to pass our quality inspections.
We provide entertainment, Evan.
We get quality inspections every 6 months, so we have to pass them.
You can buy me a new mic. I mean, I'll accept it. My birthday just happened. You can get me a new mic for my birthday.
Yeah, maybe next April 19th. Today's show is going to be interesting. For those watching, Evan and Alex are wearing the exact same outfit. Unplanned. I guess we should address that. We laughed about it when he got on, but the only really difference is Evan is more of a vintage wash, but it's both an old school. It's the cocaine tiger, right? That's what they call that tiger, the cocaine tiger.
Yeah, scary.
The eyeballs. Scary. Nice. Good volume, AG. And then a backwards hat to boot. Yeah, we're going to talk about Pistons Knicks game 3, game 4 went horrendously bad for us. And then we're going to talk about the NFL draft and the Lions picks, which went horrendously bad. If you're Evan, maybe more positivity out of Alex and I will see what we come up with. And then if time, the good thing in our life is the Tigers are red hot. So we might get to that. First place?
First place in Major League Baseball.
In run differential, yes. In beating the other team by more than we lose by, yes. And record, I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah, I don't. I didn't look at Cody KFM's stat. I just saw the picture.
New York Mets are 19-9, but we're 18-10, so we're right there. Right there. How about the Giants 19-10? Isn't there a manager a smoke show, or am I wrong about that?
Gabe Kapler.
Yeah,
the Giants do it like all the time. They had a couple down years, and then they rebuild, pay out the ass for some people, and boom, they're good again.
If we had an MLB bucket list tour like we do the SEC trip, I think their stadium would be number 1 on my list.
San Francisco?
Yeah, right on the water there. I think that would tickle my fancy. What's that stadium called? I'm completely blanking.
What are you guys talking
Covey
about?
Cove.
Giants?
I thought of the Pirates. Now I'm thinking it was PNC Park.
I thought about Petco. It's Oracle Park now, but what did it used to be called? Naming it, because it was not Oracle Park when we were kids.
No, it wasn't.
Oracle's taking over everything.
It was AT&T Park.
Yep.
So they went from one service provider to like a cloud technology provider. I mean, Oracle is everything in San Francisco, so that makes sense, I guess. I would like to go there. The McCovey Cove, I mean, that gets it done for me. I don't know if it was the home run derby I watched as a child there where they were sailing and catching balls, but that gets it done for me. Beautiful backdrop. I mean, look at this thing. Oh, man. I blew that up. 1 second.
She was a fairy.
I mean, look at that. Sit out with the boys in Levi's Landing. Just catch a ball. There's probably like two rows of seats out there.
It'd be super expensive.
Downside, if it's a windy day off the water, it's probably miserable. But a calm night at the park, ugh. All right. Anyways, I would like to start the show with a dramatic reading of a old tweet that makes me laugh every time. But it's how I felt after today, getting home from Game 4 from one Aisha Curry, June 16th, 2016. Quote, "I've lost all respect. Sorry, this is absolutely rigged for money. Or ratings. I'm not sure which. I won't be silent. Just saw it live. Sorry." Spelled SRY. That's how I felt today after watching Tim Hardaway Jr. get fouled in front of my face.
No comment.
Probably was a foul, but we also...
No comment yet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't... Are we going? We're talking about the Pistons right now?
No, we should probably do weekly check-ins, and then we should go to
Shedeur Sanders, did you guys see who prank called him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Falcons coordinator's son.
It's not a good look for that guy.
My take, I think prank calls are funny.
Tyler Warren just came out and said that he got prank called too.
Okay. So Shedeur is not special.
Correct. I don't know how these people are getting these numbers to begin with, so like...
Do you want to...
Well, if it was the defensive coordinator's son, he probably got it.
I don't know the official story, but the Falcons had to release a statement, and it was hilarious how they wrote this. But apparently they said that the son saw it on an open, unlocked iPad in their house, which was his dad's. And that's just how he like wrote it down or took a picture of it, and then he saved it and didn't tell his dad about it allegedly, and did it over the weekend.
Hell yeah.
Which, who amongst us hasn't left unattended technology? I'm guilty of it. Just leaving it open.
No.
You never not locked your screen?
No. We did it in 9th grade, and we got in trouble for drinking. But
same thing, honestly, as this, really, if you think about it. Scarred for life.
Some of you got in trouble for drinking.
Yeah. Some of us decided to throw a party a couple weeks later that you couldn't make. Unfortunately. Alex, anything news noteworthy?
Grant.
Did we record on Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah, we recorded on Tuesday night. So I mean, it could be short. You don't, if anything crazy happened, but don't feel like you have to force it. Don't force the shot up.
Okay, fine. Next.
Wow.
Oh, no golf?
Well, I mean, Grant does this every week. He just doesn't want me to tell anybody what I did, so I didn't do anything. Next.
No, I like when you tell us if you have stuff good.
If you lead in saying it can be short, you're just telling me not to talk.
No, it was more on Tuesdays. Not much is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But you could have had a huge Saturday. Was it a big Saturday for Bert?
Next. No questions at this time.
Serious question. Are you in a simulator league right now, or are we in a break?
No questions at this time.
When's your outdoor league start? Because I think you need to man up.
I play golf every weekend, Evan.
Put your handicap to the test.
I play outside golf every weekend.
League, though. Where
I'm playing in a tournament next week.
A tournament?
I played in a golf tournament for 3 days for money, like 2-3 weeks ago.
I wasn't here for it. Sorry. How'd you do?
Pretty good.
Well, what's pretty good? Because like pretty good to me is like 12th.
You tell me, Alex, if I say this wrong, but there was like 30 dudes there. Ish.
Sounds like a party.
Alex played top 5 golfer, but he went 0 for 3 in his matches.
Correct. I finished in the top 5 every day, but all my matches I lost. Some of the variations were not my fault, but
alternate shot, his partner was terrible.
I'll
say it. He can't say it, but I'll say it.
Who's your partner?
Correct.
Some guy we probably will never meet.
Yeah, he's one of the friends here, actually. No, he's a Michigan fan. Went to Adrian College.
Classic. They can never golf.
Adrian College.
Oh, go Dogs!
In fact,
this is a small world. Holy shit!
Yeah, that is crazy.
Correct. Yeah, correct. But yeah,
He's been to the Maryland Fitness Center. Come on. Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been putting my handicap to the test.
I've been playing at Top Golf. Nobody asked.
I played golf Saturday, but I'm not taking questions at this time.
Evan's got league tomorrow night.
Damn right.
You're week 3 of the league, week 2 for you.
Week 2 for me.
Big bounce back week for you.
Am I going?
Yeah.
Gillen?
Apparently.
A lot of baseball recently.
Keep it short, Evan. We don't really care. According to
shut up. No, Evan. No,
just
don't
came
let him
back
do that
from
to you.
a tournament up in Frankenmuth area.
That's the town it's all about Christmas, right?
Yeah. Bronner's.
Did you go there?
No, wasn't open by the time we got to it.
Mm-hmm.
We played Sand Creek's JV team. My freshman team played Sand Creek's JV team on Friday.
Yeah.
We played 2.5 innings.
Good or bad?
What does that mean?
We mercied them in 3 innings. We were the home team, so we played 2.5 innings. 18-0. Wrapped this bad boy up.
Embarrassing.
Our starting pitcher threw 26 pitches.
Now, Evan, you're gonna have to
get
have
9 outs.
You're gonna have to give them some humbling. You know, that rat poison, as Saban said, could go to their head that they're better than a JV team. So you need to humble them somehow.
Practice tomorrow. They're gonna get humbled.
Just bow and arrows for no reason. No reason. Just start running, boys.
I've actually been texting the team over this weekend, and I've said one message on Saturday and Sunday. It says, take care of your arms, because we have too many arm issues.
For a JV team, we already have arm issues.
They're freshmen.
Well, they just don't take care of them.
Beat a JV team.
They don't take care of them, Alex, and so then they come to practice and their arms are sore, and then they complain
about it.
They
don't ice their arms.
Well, they say they do, but clearly it doesn't help, or they're not doing it properly, because
you should just make them do it on the bus on the way back. Freshman team afford ice packs.
If there's no bus on the way back, it's drop only nowadays.
Do you guys have a budget of
always drop only?
Do you have
it's drop only nowadays. Cutbacks.
What the hell?
Don't bus
the bus
home.
rides back were a vibe. On the way back.
No,
what
did you say? No bus ride
home. For any sport.
Oh, the only sport that has drop or bus backs is football.
What?
That's insane.
Swear to God.
No, varsity basketball has to have a bus back.
No, drop only.
You kidding me?
No. This is a common thing over like the last 5 years, 6 years. Drop only.
What?
We are old.
Dude, if you take a shit loss, you need to sit on that bus and be sad together.
No,
that's how you find out who cares or not.
You get into your car. Get in your car with your dad and him.
What?
Belittle you about how bad you played.
You're probably gonna get more egos from having him ride home with her parents after.
Yeah, or the parents. The mom gets in, is like, "Oh, it was Johnny's fault. Don't worry, Billy. You're a stud."
Oh, your coach. That Cadmus coach is the worst. You should have played more, Billy.
I mean, you're probably taking so much heat in those car rides.
I probably do.
That's a terrible rule. That's a terrible cut.
Guy doesn't know what the he's doing.
We never.
No wonder we
weren't even allowed to ride home with our parents. We had to sign a waiver.
Cutbacks, Alex. Money's tight. Tell the schools to pass a bond.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute real quick. You guys can keep going.
You have to pay the bus driver for the hours that they're there too. So it's a big issue. Why?
But you're telling me they did it for 100 years and then they decided, yeah, we're good.
Well, they probably didn't pay the bus driver way back when.
It's just unbelievable. I have a solution for you if you guys want it. Just hire 2 full-time bus drivers and their salary, and then you don't have to pay them hourly, and then they just have to do what you tell them. Boom, done.
We'll see you at the next board meeting.
$55K a year. Congrats, you're a bus driver for the year.
$55K. That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be working more than 40 hours, so.
Yeah, late nights too.
Sitting at basketball games.
Preferably single, no family, based on your hours.
I mean, yes.
Man,
Evan, why don't you just be the bus driver and then you'll drive the team home after the games because you'll already be there anyways. And then you get double the income.
Yeah, we could get you a used
the school
bus.
Had to buy a bus.
Let's start bus back business so that we We can provide
Triple
these
B.
bus backs.
Big baller brand.
BBB, bus back business.
Bus back business. Bus back business boys with a Z.
With a Z.
Quad Bs.
I can't believe that might be the most stunning thing I've heard all week.
And then, Evan, we can repurpose the bus and we can take it on the SEC trips. So that's where we tailgate in. Like we paint the bus. We paint the bus black with a big T. Black would be hot. Maybe orange exterior with a big black T. Not one letter off there. That would be interesting. With T. And then, we use it for that. And then we, borrow it in the fall for our event.
And then off the record, we turn.
So then, baseball tournament this past weekend with my younger travel team, 8U. Didn't go the best, but we're getting better. We played all right.
Fundamental baseball.
Yeah, I mean, we got more outs defensively. Just got to hit the ball a little bit better. Run the bases dramatically better.
Dramatically better.
Yeah.
Pay attention to coach's signs on the base path.
Grant, and then we like to hit the ball and then stare and watch what the defender's doing with said ball while they're trying to throw us out.
The old Sean Casey thought he caught it. No, it's actually in the left field. Oh, you're still out at first.
Yeah. Other than that, that's about it. Absolutely gorgeous day in Michigan today.
Yeah. Amen to that.
Straight
it really
up
was.
beautiful.
Friend of the podcast, Cody, sent me a picture smiling. He was a happy guy.
Just outdoors happy.
Said he can't stop smiling because of how nice it is.
It was hot.
Hey, Grant, we're not really interested in what you did, so let's just move on.
I don't have a ton, Alex. I really don't. I don't think I did much.
Keep it under 2 sentences.
I had a great day today, besides the outcome. But other than that,
until he didn't.
Yeah, good trip downtown. City was a buzz with LCA packed, Tigers going out at the same time. It was kind of a logistical nightmare getting down there. A lot of streets blocked off, but figured in and out of a parking garage right next to Comerica. And now I'm here. And I had Culver's, so can't complain. Ate a lot. Butterburger.
Yes.
Double Butterburger cheese.
Yes.
If you're listening, G Money, listen up. Although I didn't get a concrete mixer. But double
checks out why you're looking pudgy these days for sure.
With cheese, mayo,
big
ketchup,
boy.
Mustard, lettuce, pickles, cheese curd.
Yes, and fry.
No
and
fry.
One cheese curd and one fry.
Cheese curds. A value basket, Alex. Cheese curds, Coke. Shared a chicken
You know how many
tender.
calories you just ate?
A lot. But all I had was a small frozen breakfast burrito before I left for the game. So I think I'm pretty good. If we were counting our macros or whatever, I think I'm probably under. I'm probably going to cut. I'm in a caloric deficit right now.
You had thousands of calories at Culver's.
I probably need I think I'm supposed, if I were to maintain my weight, I think I need 2,750 calories a day. And I don't think I've had that today. He's going to look up the Culver's menu. Yeah, he's going to look up the Culver's menu. I know he is. I'm going to have to wait for him to figure this out because I'm not letting him cut me off on Pistons basketball as he's listening to the Culver's menu.
What'd you have?
Double Butterburger cheese.
Double.
Yes.
With cheese. Double Butterburger with cheese. Wow.
Yeah. Something about a Butterburger is fun to say.
Too bad.
700 calories.
Let me add your toppings. You put mayo on that thing?
Mayo, ketchup, mustard, pickle, lettuce. Just basically no tomato and onion.
No tomato, no onion. 850 calories.
No.
That's what it said. Ordered cheese curds. 490 calories.
Did you eat all of them?
Yeah. And then 2 of the chicken tenders. I should have got them buffalo style, but I got original. So 520 divided by 2.
You had a large cheese curd.
No. Probably medium.
We'll call it 500.
Oh, and then a medium Coke.
Ooh.
With ranch to dip it all in.
300 calories. 270 actually. Yeah, that's under. I'm under, dude. I'm in a deficit, Alex. I need to eat more before I go to bed.
But that didn't include the ranch. So you add another 100.
Oh,
We're talking
how
2,000
many
calories right there.
how many dips of ranch could we really count?
And how much was your burrito this morning?
Nothing.
400.
It was like
You can have
like
one
cotton
scoop
candy.
of peanut butter after this, and then you'll hit your total calories.
Deal. Yeah, that was basically my weekend. We can talk about the Pistons now. Down 3-1 in the series, if you haven't been paying attention. About a week ago, we were as high as we could be. 1-1 coming back to Detroit. Stole game 2.
Still can't win at home.
Can't win at home for some reason.
They showed it on the broadcast, Grant, or the last time the Pistons won at home. An absolute shellacking of the Celtics in 2008.
Yeah. Went on to lose that series.
Eastern Conference Finals. I think 94-75 we won game 1.
Game 5. That was game 5.
They said game 1.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'll die.
You guys lost me. We're talking about the Celtics game they show on the broadcast.
Yeah.
We're talking about what that was.
Yes.
Pretty sure they said 2008 at the Eastern Conference Finals.
Game 4? Game 5?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea.
Game 1.
Game 4. 94-75. May 26, 2008.
Told you it was game 4.
The last time we won a home game.
And then
for playoffs.
That tied the series 2-2, and then the Celtics won game 6, or game 5 and game 6.
I think
before last week, we hadn't won a game since.
But at the same time, I mean, the total difference between the two games we just played is 3 points. We lost game 3 by 2. We lost this game by 1. Absolutely brutal. Game 3 is whatever. I guess we'll just talk about them together. Game 3, I know that Malik Beasley shot really, really bad, and that was like a glaring thing to me. But at the same time, Tim Hardaway Jr. shot out of his mind, so they kind of canceled out if you think about it. And Dennis Schroeder went 4 of 6. So yeah, there wasn't anything crazy from that. The game 3, the only really takeaway I had from that is like the Knicks came out hot, and we were our young guys were probably like overwhelmed a little bit by our own home crowd. Like probably felt like, oh god, we really need to win this. And
so JB said on the broadcast.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
And the Knicks just kept making big shot after big shot to just stay afloat in a small lead in that game. We did lead by 4 at one point in that game, in game 3. But I'm looking at it here. They won the first half by 13-ish points, and then we won the next 2 quarters. It just wasn't enough. So that's really how that game went. I mean, that was Tobias's rough game. He was 2 of 9 for 5 points.
And he had 4 fouls or 5 fouls like immediately.
5 fouls in that game. He had 5 fouls again today. Cade was 10 of 25 for 24, so not great efficiency in that game. But he also had 11 assists and 7 rebounds. That was basically that game. This game kind of started out the same way, honestly. Same way. Just like, God, we do not look like we're missing something. There's like a lack of something. We're sloppy. I don't know if it's the moment, what's going on here. And then the third quarter happens. What do you say, Alex?
Motor.
Just lack of
toughness. And then one
aggression.
Guy provided it, and that's when everything changed.
Who's the guy?
Tobias Harris.
Tobias is and one.
Tobias. Well, he was like getting into it with Cat, just talking shit, being tougher than them. Got 2 and 1s. And then everybody figured out, holy shit, if we play hard, maybe good things will happen.
Get to the basket, put our head down, stop trying to settle for mid-range fadeaways.
There's one guy who's just been bad all series. But I don't know when we want to talk about that.
Who?
Well, he's young, so I try to give him some.
I think there's an interesting debate on. Are you talking about Asar Thompson, number 9?
He does good things defensively, but his offense is not there. And then he's also in foul trouble every game. And then today, I just didn't know what he was doing. He did nothing today.
He does do. There's something about his defense though that I like in certain times.
No, I think he will be very good on defense in the playoffs in future seasons. I just think he doesn't have enough on the other end right now to be on the floor.
Yeah.
Valid point. Because down the stretch, the Knicks had 2 guys they can go to. Down the stretch, the Pistons only have 1 guy they can go to.
That's glaring. That's a huge takeaway for me. This whole thing is
we
like
only have 1 guy that can generate a shot on their own, while they have 2 guys.
Not to mention, the Knicks deserve credit because Brunson and Towns in the fourth quarter, they just hit some other level and just
the agenda that they were saying, talking about Brunson though coming back from an injury.
Yeah.
He was never ruled out. It's not like he ripped off a bandage and was like, "Yeah, I'm going in."
Yeah.
And
it's not hating him because he just makes every shot when it matters. He makes every single one.
It sounds insane.
Two All-Stars. What do you expect?
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah. I guess you don't realize how good NBA players are until you just see them make these crazy shots, like 17 possessions in a row, and you're like, what the am I watching? Like, even if you play great defense, they're going to make it. It's not the same. It is not even close to the same.
The only player I think I've seen in college level of difficulty shot in that short amount of time was Anthony Edwards against Maui, Michigan State, Georgia.
Yeah, that was
and look who he is now. But like he had a stretch in that game where I was like, this isn't a college basketball player. Like, what is these level of shots that he was hitting?
Yeah, after watching this game, like when people are like, oh, if you put blah, blah, blah NBA player on a March Madness team, like how far would they go? Like, yeah, I think they would go all the way to the championship game. They score every possession. It's in the NBA. Karl Anthony Towns, if you dropped him on any college team right now, he would go crazy.
Dude, Mikal Bridges
are stupid.
Also had like 2 fadeaway in the corner threes in like within back-to-back or, 3 possessions of each other. Just insane level. Like all 3 of those guys were making absurd. And then obviously this is a separate one. I'm just looking at the thing of guys that just were a pain in the ass. Josh Hart decides to make 3-pointers today when he like doesn't do that ever. And he was 3 of 5.
Pisses me off. He bitches at the refs all game.
Their whole team does. I mean, our players, that's the NBA. They all complain, but like it's so, oh my God. I was sitting there and I just get swept up in the moment. There's a lot of hate in that arena for the
were you loud on your feet? Like, you didn't text at all, so you were trying to be in the moment.
I did. I pulled off the Masters thing. It was awesome. I did laugh at one text at halftime when I was catching up. When you guys were having like the worst first half of all time. I think it was Cody with the C. He said like, well, they were down 30 at half, and that just made me laugh. Just like,
a week ago.
But that's all. And then I put my phone away. I just kept vibrating. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of discussion going on here. And I was like, oh my God, 120 texts. That's how Evan feels sometimes when he gets out of coaching or out of school. He's like, whoa, what did I miss?
It was like that Thursday, I think.
Like on your feet, how's the crowd? Give us.
Beginning of the game was pretty quiet. Like, because I didn't get
we looked like shit.
Yeah. In NBA games, all right, this might be a side tangent of NBA games. And I was like, it sucks.
Yeah, they should not be playing music.
It's the only song that worked at the end, which probably played on the broadcast, was Seven Nation Army. That is a crowd favorite. That's easy. It's loud on defense. You can rip that. But like, dude, what was the song? It was like a TikTok song. And it was playing when we were down 10. And it was making me mad. Like I was looking at Marissa, I'm like, I'm not enjoying this. And then like it's probably every city, but like again, it's so fun. It's more of like not a celebrity event, but like NBA games are almost about like showing off than like the grittiness, I guess. It's also because it's new in Detroit after 10 years. So I think people are still like, oh, we made the playoffs. This is cool, even if we don't win. Where I'm like, no, like we should beat the Knicks at least one of these games. And like they do like crowd shots every second. Like there's never like
I saw one on the broadcast that they were doing one.
Not as many replays as I would like in the crowd shots, and everyone's just like showing off their jersey or like whatever necklace they got on, or like they're like I don't know, they're like showing their rally towels when we're down like 12. And I'm like, this is just annoying me that everyone's it's stupid. It's old man yells at calls, but everyone's having such a great time and we're just getting our asses kicked in the first half. It's just like, this is surreal. That is why purist of the game.
That's the 82 game like experience. Like you just go there to like around. It's like at a baseball game. You just in the regular season, you just go to around, eat hot dogs, drink beers, be outside.
If that was game 56 versus the Hornets, I'd be all about it. Like, yeah, show the dance team. Like there was one where we were
a switch once you get to the playoffs. I haven't been there in a while. Maybe the media team also needs some help. The social team.
I don't know. It was like in my mind, all I needed was like crowd shots of every timeout of just the celebrities there to get people on their feet. Like when they showed Jared Goff, huge pop. When they showed Dan Campbell, huge pop. Ben Wallace, massive. Chauncey, Isaiah Thomas, like they did all that. Like just show me more of them. I don't really need to see all the like foo-foo stuff in the game.
It seemed loud though when we went on our big run.
It did. It definitely got loud. This is just another gripe. I think rally towels are. I think baseball is the only sport.
You always said this.
Where they make sense. You can't clap. Like mine just in my back pocket, and then at the end of the game, they're like, "Everyone wave your rally towels." Like, yeah, we're dead silent though because like everyone's just going like this, not making any noise with their hands. Like you have these two things make booming claps, and like we're just going like this instead. Rally towels work in baseball for home runs, and that is it. Home runs, you hit a torque bomb. Orange rally towels are sick.
It looks so cool on TV.
Basketball game, Ford Field playoff game, don't need rally towels. Maybe for the kickoff, they're fun to wave around, but no,
God,
don't need those.
I just thought about the Commanders game. Thanks a lot.
Right. That went through my mind too. I'm 0 for 2 in Detroit playoff games in 2025.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And then
you're not going to Comerica this
no, I joked with Marissa. I was like, this could be a ban. It might be banned from the postseason. Maybe if we have a 3-1 lead or something, 3-0 lead, but like you can sneak in.
Crazy because 2024, you were just automatic. Whatever you went to,
my year.
You win.
It was my year. And that goes point.
Now we can't win anything ever again.
You're retired.
I think this circus, it was still a good game at the end. This circus of whatever an NBA playoff game looks like makes me appreciate the Rose Bowl that much more, and probably would be the Masters, like those events. The Rose Bowl, there was no in-game entertainment. There was a timeout. You're just standing there looking at the scenery, and you get the bands at halftime. That's it. There's no like, guess what numbers under the rotating ice cream cone hats. They don't do any of that shit. They're just like, there's football, green grass. It's New Year's Day in Pasadena. Enjoy. And that's what I like. Because everyone's like talking about the game then. Like
they don't do the helmet shuffle at the Rose Bowl? Come on.
No. Also, this is just circumstance of where I sat. Mom and kid in front of me, generations below us is so screwed. Kid on his phone the entire game, was watching TikTok. He's probably 8 years old. Like, what is that? She
just
probably paid like
just smacked out of his hand.
$150, $200. I don't know how they got what their tickets came from, but let's say they did pay that, and he just did not look up once from watching TikTok. And I'm like, what are we doing?
Have kids that do this? I'm calling you out for it.
They will not.
I will.
I won't take them to the game. You don't go to a playoff game?
True.
This is unacceptable.
I'll be honest. I'm probably not taking my 8-year-old son to a playoff game. I'm probably taking the bros.
The boys.
Yeah.
You cannot go to that game as a kid and just not. I mean, it's not every kid. There was another kid with a shirt off waving around his head. That kid has good energy. Like, that's good stuff.
I just think as a kid, when we were kids, God, we sound old, but like, that's not even an option.
That was my first. No.
We're deep in that if we're in there. I mean, we are.
You're asking your dad questions. You're like, what does that mean? What is that foul?
I'm
you're learning the game.
I'm crying. I'm getting emotional.
You just smacked Alex, told him to man up a little bit.
Throw the bomb.
Garrett's yelling, throw the bomb.
Yeah, why are we yelling, throw the bomb, Dad? What is that? What does the bomb even mean?
We lose. I'm crying.
Garrett yells at little Evan, now's not the time to get roasted peanuts.
Did that happen?
I stood up so many damn times. It was, I'm not going to say unbelievable, but like the amount of times I had to stand up was insane. People just leave. There's also another massive gripe of every sporting event. The start of any third quarter.
Dude, there was nobody in there.
Nobody in the arena.
When they started the second half, I was like, oh my God, everybody left.
Same with the Lions playoff game even. People just don't know how to do halftime. It's not hard. If you go to the bathroom, they give you like 15 minutes. I know the lines are long. Like, you'll be back. People got to time with their concessions better. Get 2 beers every time you go, if that's what it's going to take. I don't know.
Some people are just going to around, though. But, like, if you want to go around, please go in the 82 games in the regular season.
Upper right, shout out to them. If they showed Jared Goff on the baseline, I was like above him back, like in the mezzanine level. But so the upper right behind the corner of the Knicks bench, that pocket of fans was rowdy as hell. They were starting the F.U. Brunson chants every time. They had tried to get a Cats chant off the ground, and I was ready to join in. It just didn't get loud enough to meet the threshold of the entire arena doing it. But like, there were chants out there and people into the game. And the boos for Brunson every time was still loud as it can be. It's just... Yeah, it was definitely a good crowd when the run happened. In the third quarter that we won 28-14 was just awesome. That was a fever dream. Everyone was flexing on each other, standing up, yelling. I don't know. It just didn't work out.
Was Marissa into this game, or was she bored? She probably
No,
bored.
she was
She's probably
into it.
TikToking.
She's not a big stander upper though, but she was definitely getting into it. There was one we both like. Cat went to sit high ball screen, and like instead of putting his hands, on your junk and setting the screen, he put both hands on Dennis Schroeder's hips as the screen, and we both yelled like, "That's a foul!" Like, what are we doing? Like, you can't just go grab someone's hips as the screen. That's not how setting a screen in basketball works.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating series to watch, to say the least.
After halftime, I looked at her. I was like, I'm going to try to just stand up and like get happy for the positive moments, but not get swept up in the Knicks like foul baiting, whatever. And that lasted like 2 minutes because they were just on bullshit again in the third quarter. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Every time I think one of them shot, I just kept yelling short. And then Karl Anthony Towns would yell, and I would just kept saying tee him up. I did tee him up probably at Karl Anthony Towns for a good 5 minutes in that game. Just he wouldn't stop running his mouth to anyone that would listen. He's so good. That's the fadeaway into the baseline was stupid, but that step back three was probably more ridiculous. That was from the parking lot that he hit.
I sunk to my knees.
It dropped you. He also pushed off Duran, but whatever. They didn't call. There was one stretch in the third quarter. They didn't call a whistle for like 3 minutes of real time.
It's crazy. It was just a football game on the court, bodying each other. Yeah, it sucked.
It sucks.
I mean,
dude.
we think we're probably getting closed out Tuesday, right?
No. Yes. I'm convincing myself that we take it to 7 and lose.
It's over.
Shut the up, Grant.
Do you don't think there's any chance though they take their foot off the gas the second we can catch them?
We can't close in the fourth quarter. We've proven that every game because we only have one guy.
We need to have
every shot in the fourth quarter. I think they missed one shot in the fourth quarter. I don't know the actual stats on it, but it felt like they missed one shot.
We need to have a 9 or 10 point lead, not a 7. That was the difference. I think we had like a 7-point lead.
Well, did that bucket at the end of the third count? Did they go back and review it?
We got it to 11 it was late. In the fourth quarter, Grant. We got it to 11.
Imagine if that one went in. 2 more points.
Yeah, he passed it up to Tim, and Tim didn't lay it up. He tried to dunk it. He saw Aaron Gordon the other night and thought, I can do this. And could not do it the same way. Dude, Schroeder plays so hard, too. He's a guy that stood out to me. He was harassing anyone at half court. He got that one steal where Brunson got hurt on trying to be a dirty player, hooking his leg in. Brunson, ironically, got hurt on a play he was trying to be a scumbag on, which is just classic Jalen Brunson. The replay is him falling down, and he like hooks his toes into Schroeder's back of his knee to try to pull Schroeder back, and it like hurt his ankle doing it. And then we got obviously points on the other end. Cade's dunk on Karl Anthony Towns was maybe the moment of the night. I was standing up on your head. I think I called Cat some mean names during that.
I said some mean things in that moment.
I don't know, dude. You know what? I looked at Marissa in the second quarter. I said, this team needs Cone Car. When it felt like we couldn't grab a rebound, I was like, can we draft him like this year? Can he just come out and we'll take him at the back of the first? Like, I just want that body on my team. Because he is. Oh, I like Ron Holland's fine.
I told you he's an NBA player.
Ron Holland is fine, but if I could trade him for Cone Car right now, I would
pissed me off so bad in the beginning of the game. He's too
anything
young,
specifically,
so I'm not gonna, act like he sucks, but like, well, he's offensively he's horrendous right now. He can't do anything.
Lady so behind me kept yelling shoot. I was like, we don't want that kid to shoot. That's one. They're off him. They come out to the free throw line. He's at the 3-point line. He still tries to like dribble into the lane, even though they're already sagging 6 feet off. And then he leaves his feet, throws some shit turnover. And then Cade full on chested him off as he tried to talk shit to Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, and Towns didn't do anything dirty there either. There's times you can get mad at Towns. I was like, he's just looking for a fight.
Yeah, so I was upset.
He missed one obvious box out on Mikal Bridges, and I was like, all right, he can't be in the game if he's giving up like those type of rebounds. What's crazy about the stats is that in the game, if you had asked me, I would have thought we got out-rebounded by like 25 is what it felt like live, but we out-rebounded them 54-38, which is crazy. And we had 2 more offensive rebounds than they did, which, again, would not have guessed watching live. Because I remember in the first half, I kept thinking we just can't grab a rebound, and that's how they keep getting every second chance point to continue to bury us. But I mean, stats wise, the story of the game was we went 7 of 29 from 3. We shot 24%. We were 7 and 10% from 3 for like the majority of the early part of the game. And
so we were up 6
into the fourth or towards the end.
In the fourth.
We were up 10 with
So,
10. I know that.
Sorry, we were up 5. Hardaway makes the 3 to go up 5 with 4 minutes, 5 minutes left. Up 5, 5 minutes to go.
Good
The
spot.
Knicks, the rest of the game, went 6 of 8. And the only misses was that Brunson little like floater at the very end that we just completely botched the defensive assignment on, and he just got running to the basket, and then he missed some other like floater earlier in the game. They made every other shot.
And they were all
6 of
tough
8
too.
last 5 minutes, and they were all contested.
Dude, Brunson, I've never seen someone, he's a lefty, so I have to make myself, I've never seen an offhand, like he goes to his right and makes that left running bank so easy. That is an impossible shot. Like
Makes it every time.
that is me dribbling to my left, making a running right-handed shot. And like I pride myself on floaters, so I know how tough that is. You're running offhand, floating left, putting it back on the glass to your right. And he does that time and time again, dribbling to his right with his left. And I don't know how he does it. He does it over anybody. Doesn't matter if you're Duren. Doesn't matter if you're Marcus Sasser, who doesn't play in the playoffs. Like, you just make that shot over any human. And I don't get
Why
it.
do you keep mentioning Sasser? Do you want him to play in the series?
They show him on all the highlight videos. I don't know why. Like, the Jumbotron, like, you see Marcus Sasser. I'm like, oh, yeah, he doesn't play.
Yeah, I was at a loss for words at the end of this game. I was very upset.
I can
I
take you
wanted,
through
like,
the moment.
I wanted someone to come in and tell me that they reviewed it and were shooting free throws. I like
They changed
lingered
it.
around. I'm like, there's no way, right? There's no way. The NBA
Shams
reviews stuff, they
Charania
have it
says
right.
they've decided to add 5 seconds onto the game, and we're going to give
Like,
them
come
another
on,
chance.
there's got to be something.
It
no.
was surreal because in arena, like, there was a loud, like, audible gasp or yell from the crowd when the shot went up, and I thought in my head I must have just missed the whistle. I was like, oh, okay, like, we're shooting 3, like, everyone's yelling foul, like, we're good. And then but like in my head, I'm walking out, I was like, then I just saw Karl-Anthony Towns basically across the court, and I was like, okay, we lost the game. Like, that was my experience of like watching the Knicks players just start screaming at everyone along the front row, and I was like, we lost. There was no foul called. And then I
You didn't
just
see
watched.
JB Bickerstaff run onto the floor saying that's a foul and just trying to like belittle the ref, and then
There
some
was
Knicks
so
guy
many-
like clapped in his face.
There were so many people in that vicinity, and then I saw, like, I was trying to see if like we were talking to their players or more the refs, and it seemed like and then I saw Tim Hardaway Jr. having to be constrained because he was like pointing at the refs walking off, and I was like, yeah, we lost the game.
It was
The
a
game's
foul.
over.
I mean,
100%. They admitted it
it's
after
not-
the game too.
it's not like some egregious foul, but in that moment, it was a foul. They call that in the middle of the game for sure. And I'd probably be cool if they swallowed it for us, if that was the same scenario. They switched, but it was a foul.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, so Tim did jump a little bit to his right, but even if he went straight up, Josh Hart hit him on his leg and his arms. There's that photo from the Detroit News where he's like over his elbow. Like, yeah, there's no, if anyone tries to say like it wasn't, I mean, that's been a foul in the history of basketball, like, forever. And that's just a still photo, but like, you can imagine with the motion added to
That is
that,
a
like,
foul.
yeah. I mean, that one is like, you could be like, oh, he's not really touching him, but like in the course of it, yeah, he gets hit. And I just don't know, like, I don't know. It just was tough. It's a tough situation. I mean, Kyle Guy got it called and made 3 free throws to go to a national championship game, and that was arguably
I was at
less
that game.
contact, just the landing zone thing. I mean, Josh Hart even said, yeah, I ran into him. I don't know if it was legal or not. It's like, well, if you hit a 3-point shooter, it should be a foul. That's been basketball forever.
Yeah, it hurts.
I don't know.
Sucks. He would have definitely.
The
made at
apology
least 2.
doesn't help. Yeah, for sure. I mean, a minimum 1, so we get overtime, but like, I don't know. And then to clear up the challenge thing, which is fair. I mean, I'm a casual NBA fan. I didn't really even know until
I don't remember what we challenged in the first half.
it was awful. It was like a first quarter. Well, first of all, Karl-Anthony Towns went over the back on Cade. Cade grabbed a rebound. It slipped out of his hands. And Karl-Anthony Towns still hit it out of bounds, but somehow we challenged it because they said it was Knicks ball, and they still stuck with it. They didn't add a foul onto it or anything, which is insane. So we wasted.
So if you win the
one.
challenge, do you get one back?
You get to keep it, yes. But the rules of NBA challenges, I had to go look it up because, again, casual NBA fans, I'm not like, I didn't even know they had challenges until probably earlier this year. I was like, oh, they can challenge stuff. So that's how far behind I am because they've had it for a few years. But you can't challenge a no call. Like if there's no foul on the floor that was called, you can't just say, I think there was a foul. That's not how that program works.
That wasn't challengeable anyways.
No, if they called a foul, the Knicks could have challenged it.
Which they probably do just because.
And they could have looked at it. And then if there's a goaltend, you can challenge it. If there's any basket interference stuff, you can challenge. And if there's an out of bounds, which is what we did in the first. So people were saying in that the Lakers Timberwolves game that just ended up, it was a unique thing where they challenged the out of bounds. When they go to challenge an out of bounds, they can add a foul on. They like open up the whole play. So they can review anything in the entire play. So they can add a foul then. Like in this case.
How long does the play go back? Like how long are they going back in the play?
It's probably subjective. I don't know. It's a bad-ish system. It's good for some things, but like there's flaws.
The college, like they don't go to the monitor every 45 seconds.
No, they don't.
2 minutes.
I think that was Marissa and I were talking that out. She's like, they can't review. I was like, no, it's not like college. They just move on. They don't care. They just go. And if you can challenge, like the refs will if they're not sure about out of bounds, I guess, in the last 2 minutes. But like they don't really stop things in the NBA as much, nearly. I guess if they think there's like flagrant contact. They do, but
it just sucks because if they call that, we probably win. We're having a completely different conversation. Instead, like the series in my mind is over. So now we're dead.
That call ruined the series. It ended the series. Or the no call. And also, it's kind of like how they coach NFL officials. If there's a crazy sack fumble, let it play out. You should just call the foul. And then if it's not a foul, you just review it. Like the Knicks would probably would challenge that. They had a challenge left. You can go look and be like, all right, was it? And then if you're confident, just stick with it. It's almost like you have a backstop if you call the foul to review it. They just let it fly. It's also like, I don't know. The positioning of the ref, some people were saying like he may have been like blocked to see, he couldn't see the hit
right next to him.
I thought so. Some people were like, oh, he may not have seen the right hit, but then the guy at the top of the arc of the three has to see it too. Like there's two guys staring at that play and just being like, yeah, no, I think Tim Hardaway actually just missed a 3-pointer that bad and there was no contact is insane. Because even if Tim Hardaway double clutched, he probably hits rim. He got hit as he shot it, double clutching. So it was disgusting. Yeah, the series is over.
Sucks.
I mean, Knicks in 7, maybe, if you're being optimistic. If you're being optimistic, we can say Knicks in 7. If you're being realistic, probably game 5. Because my thing is, like, do you think with how young we are, does that motivate a team or does that kill a team? Like, is that the deflation of all?
Killed us.
Yeah.
Now, I would say that a lot of times in 3-1 series, I feel like the team that should win and close the series out comes out flat, and then they just win, and then it goes 3-2, and then that team wins the series. But I'd take that. I would take a win if the Knicks came out flat and we just won by 15 and then got to come back to Detroit and lost. I would rather lose that.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
I would like this series to keep going. I do think, though.
Don't think. Like, at some point, watching the other team have 2 superstars make every single shot in the closing seconds, you just don't know what to do. You're just going to give up. It's natural, like human response. You just give up. You can't win.
They do. They hit everything. It's crazy. They also, like...
We've had the lead in the fourth quarter every game.
Dude, they play their guys. I keep wondering the longer the series goes on, in the playoffs for sure, with Thibodeau, like how much they play their guys.
Dennis Schroeder has more points than the entire Knicks bench in this series.
That's a nice stat.
There you go.
They don't use a bench. They really don't. Mitchell Robinson played 9 minutes. Cam Pate played 7. And Miles McBride played 19. And then McHale played 40. Cat played 40. Josh Hart played 42. Brunson and Anunoby played 39. So 40. Their 5 guys play 40 minutes a game. They just let it rip. Sucks.
Prediction for Tuesday?
I don't know. Well, so I think the Garden's going to be on fire because they've also just watched how we just cussed on live TV their favorite player. So like they're going to be angrier and nastier than they were in the first 2 games, which is fine.
It's going to be a loud environment.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout though. Like every game in the series has been tight. So
we've teetered on getting blown out the last 2, but somehow we found a little spark, and we were at home to find that spark. Imagine on the road could get worse.
I think
they give up a 22-0 run in the first game.
I think Cade goes for 40. I think we win by like 2. And
I think we win. I think we're going to lose again by like 2 points because that's what's happened every game.
I think we for sure. I'm full glass half empty, which makes no sense because my heart was ripped out.
And we for sure win Game 6.
Yeah, I think Game 6 with all the animosity, anxiety from that last game. I think we win Game 6.
What he thinks.
Yeah, give us the real scoop, Evan. We lose by 20 on Tuesday.
20? No, like 12 or 13. Yes, put a coffin into it.
Lose by 12.
Be broken. We could be broken. That's totally fair.
Not to mention, we have shot like shit for 3 straight games.
You tell me when we get down by 15, 16 points again in the first half, we're going to be just like, oh yeah, here we go, guys.
We're not going to come back from that. So if we don't start the way we started Game 1 and Game 2, we'll be dead.
Seems like forever ago, but that Game 1, 21-0 run, just...
Oh my God. That's just how the whole series is gone. Just these like debilitating...
Can't finish.
You feel like you're going to win, and then you just puke at the end.
It's honestly the same thing. Game 1 and Game 2, we had nice leads and was like blew one, held one off, and then Games 3 and 4 at home, just slow starts, claw your way back, grab a lead. This one, we had a bigger lead. We had an 11-point lead at one point in this game, and then give it back up.
Last half full, like at least in this. I mean, if we think back to the last 2 Pistons series that we, can think of, the Bucks and the Cavs got swept in both those, and those games were not even competitive besides one game, I think.
Thon Maker and Wayne Ellington starting against the Bucks.
At least we have a young core that's like very close. Like we're not that far off of like winning playoff series probably, but
no.
You do start to wonder if you just keep not closing in the fourth quarter of playoff games, how that will affect your psyche in future years, aka the Lions after they lost the NFC Championship game.
No, but like Evan said, he made the point about the 2 players, which is really all you can say is like, I have to remind myself, we don't have Ivy and we don't have Stewart. 2 of our like top 6 players on our team are not playing. Jane Ivey is probably the second best player on our entire team.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And he's the Robin.
He can get.
He's a guy. You give him the ball and he can blow by Miles McBride. No offense to Miles McBride, and he'll either dunk on someone's head. He'll dunk on someone's head, or he'll pass out of it. And I know people are going to be the turnovers of Cade can be frustrating. The one before the
but he's basically out there by himself
was tough. But this is encouraging. If we're going glass half full, this is, I know stats or whatever, but like for a guy to start his career 4 straight 20-point double-doubles, Wilt and Oscar Robinson, the only other 2, he's being asked to do an insane amount. And today, that third quarter was out of this world. He had a
triple-double today.
Yeah, he did. He had 4 blocks total in the game, but he had multiple huge defensive blocks. He was assisting, rebounding, points. That third quarter, he was putting on a show and any asset of the game that you could ask for him. So, I mean, he's the guy.
Fourth quarter Cade. We need fourth quarter. We need third quarter Cade to be fourth quarter Cade.
What sucked about this game, though, was like there was a stretch.
Like, pin their ears on him and just double.
So. I mean, OG's a really good defender. He's a beast of a man. They lost whatever. The thing that head scratched me is in Game 3 when they came back, they had this nice pick and roll with Cade and Jalen Duren, and there was none of that in Game 4. I don't know what the Knicks did differently. I don't know what the Knicks did, but it just didn't work. I don't know if I had anything else. I just, like I said, I had that rant about NBA games in general.
Had a great time watching them, though. It's nice to be back. Playoffs. This is much better than hoping to win the lottery.
And it's a good series. Like, it's not like we're losing by 20 in some of the games. NBA games are just crazy how fast
What pick are we going to get in the draft?
I don't know.
Can we get any other Robins for our Batman?
No, that would be in free agency.
Do we even have a first round pick?
I think we're losing it, actually, aren't we?
I don't know. I don't care about the draft.
I thought, like, based on our position, we had to give it up to somebody. Yeah, we're picking near the top of round 2. 37th. So, no.
So we're not getting anybody from the draft.
No, but Cone Carr's going to leave early. Sorry, guys. We're going to take him. Anything
else? Just sad depression.
Yeah, just sad. Really sad. Series is the refs took it. Like I said, Aisha Curry, I saw it live, rigged ratings.
We win Tuesday, and I'm all the way back in telling you I'll believe that we're going to win the series.
Why can't Cade have 45 in the Garden? to extend it.
Because they just double team it.
Yeah, and then we have to pass to Asar or Ron Howland, and they stand there wide open from 3, and they can't do anything.
And then they can't do anything inside either. And they
Dude, that was the key because, like,
and then
Josh
Beasley and
Hart made his
Hardaway
threes.
Beasley and Hardaway go 6 for 6 or 0 for 26. There's just nothing. No, like, in between whatsoever. They can't just shoot like 50% on a day.
Today
Like
was
Beasley
so bad.
went 4 for 4 in the third quarter, but he was 3 for 26 of his last whatever. Come on.
Today was.
Come on, dude.
Like I said, 24% from 3. That was like
You're
the game.
at home. You have to make threes at home.
And we still should have won. That's the thing. The bad part was we had 17 turnovers. That was sloppy as all can be. Well,
we do that every game. We turn the ball over so
turnovers.
much.
19.
We are so turnover prone. It's gross. Just throw the ball away.
I think we can win game 5.
As Evan said, we're dead. The Lions are dead.
Knicks in 7.
Good
New
thing the
prediction.
Tigers are good.
It's 5.
Go Kitties. Knicks in 6.
Different kitties. NFL draft, Lions. Before we get into our picks, any other big drafts? I don't know if we talked about this last year. You probably did. I was curious to hear from Connor his thoughts. I don't understand how going to the draft is fun.
Looks so boring. I would never want to do that.
What do you guys
I
think?
just wouldn't.
You said you don't
I
want
think Evan would be in for that.
I would want to go. For the podcast, Colby said he went last year, and he said he would never, ever go again.
Because what do you do?
What do you do?
Stand and watch 32 names get called on a screen from 900 yards away.
Okay, maybe I can get the first round. Like, that's somewhat entertaining to see, I guess. You could do that realistically at our Birmingham apartment and drink a bunch of beers and have a great time watching.
Those were fun. I like that. I like watching the draft on the couch with the good fellas.
But I can see the first round. But people that are going back for day 2 and day 3, what are you doing there?
There's diehard NFL fans.
You can't tell me it's fun to watch like some random guy from random school getting drafted to a team you don't care about.
It's a free event.
98%.
It's a free event in a city that all they have is one professional sports team.
Free
So you would
99
wanna
does
go.
help. With the right crew, I can see it. If you have the right
You'd want to
group
go
of
to
guys,
multiple
maybe.
days.
My legs would be so sore. Be like
Depends on the
faster
weather.
horses.
The second day, the Friday night, the weather in there was miserable. I would not go to it.
Like day 3.
No.
Your ass is there.
No.
Day 3 was
So
empty.
you-
I didn't know it was just a parking lot. That's hard on the knees. It wasn't even grass. Just a concrete slab.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to the draft to answer your question. No interest in it for me.
But like we're talking over 100,000 people, record crowds, like multiple years in a row. Like Detroit, Green Bay, all show out, and people. I don't know.
I'm happy to watch it, and I want to see it, and I want to see what happens. But I can do that with like my close friends and drink beers, and then
I wonder too. Do they show like all the? I know they do the interviews that go out to the crowd, but when someone gets drafted, do they just start ripping the highlights on the big screen or no? Because I love that. I love when they rip the highlights and Daniel Jeremiah starts talking ball with Joel Klatt and everyone. Like I enjoy that. It's a good TV event. But like if
they
you're
probably
there,
show highlights, I would guess.
And then they just do the interview with Jamie
If not,
Erdahl.
that's
and
even
they're like,
worse.
yeah, like you just look at his name.
Then
and
you just have that random band, that just jazz band that's just playing music because I heard them the whole time.
and they just hug Goodell, and you
It
see
just
that. and
seems
they
so
say-
boring. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, what are these people doing?
Well, the fans that get in the close that are like fan of the years, those are the craziest people on earth. The people that like dress up and go all out it's crazy.
Yeah, there's a different level of psycho, but everybody else, the normal people.
Yeah, like if you wear a
What are you
jersey
doing?
or whatever, that's fine. But like if there's some crazy humans that are like towards the stage that get in that area because they're just dressed to the nines for the NFL draft.
I mean, there was a reason that like 5 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the draft, there was no one there. It was just like a normal, like, couple thousand people.
COVID year?
No, before
They did in Goodell's
before they
basement?
did this whole like spectacle.
Yeah, it was Radio City
When-
Music Hall.
Yeah, And it
They just
wasn't
did it
like a
in-
big deal. And I even thought then, those people there, whoa, what are they doing there? That looks boring.
It was Nashville. Nashville's the one that sets like that scene in
Yeah.
Nashville on Broadway was
That's
insane.
different.
Totally
That's
different.
different.
There's things
That
to
is
do.
not
You can
the
go to a
same.
bar.
That is just not the same. Green Bay is the one that's weird because they were in a parking lot.
Yeah.
It's like
where do you go? No.
because like if you go to the one in Nashville, you're there, you're having a great time, and then you're like, all right, well, now let's go bar hop, or like, oh,
Go to
I'm bored of this
Tootsie's.
draft, let's just go do something else. And you can't. Green
Aldean's
Bay,
rooftop. We can see the pics from there.
Detroit, really. Like,
Eh,
what are you gonna do?
big boy. Buddy's Pizza.
Tin roof.
Tin Roof. Tin Roof is
Whoever went
alive
last
today.
year, I would like them to tell us in detail if they actually had fun.
With this being said, next year's in Pittsburgh, so we might have to go see Luke with the boys. The draft.
I'm not going to day 2 and 3.
Day 3. Day
No.
3 Pittsburgh. Come right from a Pirates game to the draft.
I'm too busy in
Um,
2026.
Other big story. I mean, I couldn't go anywhere on Twitter without seeing the name Shedeur Sanders, and I don't.
Annoying.
Pretty
Annoying.
clear. Yeah, go off,
Yeah.
Evan. I feel like this is made.
Evan hates
This is
it.
made
I
for
don't-
Evan.
The media.
It is. It seems like somebody was like, you have to push this agenda on everybody, how this is God's gift to earth and that he's falling because of some reason.
Mel Kiper, not a fan, Evan.
No.
He makes me
I'm-
laugh. Though.
I have watched some Colorado football. He is pretty good. He's not that bad, and he
He's
should have
not
been
that
picked.
good.
He should have been picked before he was picked. Dylan Gabriel should not have been picked before him.
Dylan Gabriel actually can sling the football.
He's 4'10". I don't know
I
what his
don't care.
actual height is, but he's a little guy. In the NFL, it's never going to work.
Jalen Brunson, build.
But, I mean, Gerald McCoy
Like
had a good
NFL
point.
quarterback.
Shedeur
Gerald McCoy?
has had everything handed to him. Everything.
True.
Since Pop Warner football, his dad has only been his head coach.
Yeah. Yes. And I mean, can you blame him for like wanting to play for his dad? I mean, it's not like it's
No, I'm not
fine.
saying that, but have you really faced that much adversity as a quarterback in a program if your dad is the head coach?
There's no doubt he needs like serious like
He's never had
Mentoring.
competition at that position.
he needs like some adversity for sure, but he's still better than some of these dudes that got drafted in front of him.
Talent wise, sure.
Like
Not
he
many
can
teams
make
needed
throws.
quarterbacks or wanted to waste their top
The
round pick
Louisville
on-
kid the Saints took is like he's our age. And I
Yeah,
know,
he's
Evan, you don't
older.
like that. You don't like old quarterbacks getting drafted. Especially with a second round pick, Evan. That is a capital you can be using to get players on the field right now.
Correct. But
So
the
I know you
Saints
didn't
are
like that.
Saints are a predicament. Their starting quarterback can't throw the football right now, so they needed a quarterback.
But if you're going to if you're going to take all these guys, why wouldn't you take the guy with the more talent and just hope that your culture can get to him? Like,
Because they
He might
drafted
be-
out,
getting
and then they
arrested.
thought that
He might be
doesn't have more
uncoachable.
talented.
how would anyone know if he's uncoachable if he's never had a coach besides his
Because you
dad?
sit down and you interview players, Alex. You go on visits. You have the top
I'm not
30
denying
visits.
that
You
he's
interview them. You go to the
probably a
combine.
turd. A turd,
You
as
sit down
Dan
and
Campbell
talk
would
to
say.
everybody around his teammates. You talk to former coaches.
Unless he's like full on Johnny Manziel, like doesn't watch film full
With
on.
less talent.
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny
correct.
Manziel won a Heisman Trophy. Like that kid, he was a mess.
At least Johnny Manziel won a ranked matchup. Won a bowl game.
All right. Colorado's the rest of their team besides their skill players were dog shit.
Correct.
So
He had
it's
no
not
offensive
totally
line.
on him. He's running
I
around
think-
for his life every play.
Okay, then if you're a top first overall pick, if you should have gone in the first round, then you should be lifting up your team. And he never did.
I mean, arguably he did. They were better than they were.
I mean,
before he was
if you
there.
call average better than they were, then sure. But anytime they face a somewhat
You just can't
comparable
tell me
team
he's
over
not better than
500,
some of these quarterbacks.
they got exposed.
Talent wise.
Some of the
Talent wise, I will not disagree, but I do think, and it was probably just from listening, because I was fascinated by it. I was listening to McShay talk about it, listening to some other people. A couple things. Well, one, just watching college football, I can see some red flags. He had multiple like viral moments where he was kind of
Yes.
being a dickhead on the football field, like the Colorado State kid. He like wouldn't shake his hand. He had one thing with a ball boy.
talk shit
And then
to
I
a
remember the
ball boy.
Nebraska game. They asked him in the post game. He just said, "How many times did Dylan Raiola get sacked?" Like just threw his offensive line under the bus. Granted, not a good offensive line, but when we're talking about
You can't
the NFL,
say stuff like that.
Can't say
Correct.
that. And then I guess this is the insider stuff. And I kind of like that McShay's not on ESPN anymore because I think he like just lets it rip. He's like an East Coast guy. Like he doesn't really care. He was like, I heard from multiple people with the Giants at least that like Dable gave him like an install set and they had to go over it. And Shedeur just didn't learn it at all. He just did not care. And like actively was like, yeah, I don't need to learn this right now. And I think he just rubbed a lot of coaches the wrong way with like, or how did he phrase it too? He's like, they interviewed him and like it was clear that Shedeur did not care what other coaches in the NFL thought about him. Like he didn't try to impress anyone in interviews. He was just like, yeah, whatever, I'm Shedeur. And I think that probably got to everybody around the league. And then you have the shadow of his dad probably like, oh, does Deion need to coach your NFL team? Like, because he always coaches his kid. And I think there's like, hey, if this kid's not good enough to be a starter, he's going to be an awful backup because he's not going to be a good teammate if he's the backup on the team.
If he can't be a backup role, then yes, you don't need him.
Yeah, he's
like
just going to be
not
like a
willing
nightmare.
to be like that guy. Yeah,
yeah. Like, is he going to come in
and
and
see
like,
where he goes from here?
Yeah,
because now he's got the adversity, he's got all the bullshit. Like he's going to a room where he can actually probably
there's nobody there. That's Joe Flacco's the starter.
He
probably
can actually compete and get to play if he wanted to. He just has to like commit himself and actually be a guy. But again, no one knows if he's actually capable of that. It'll be interesting to see. Sean Payton does. Sean Payton thinks he can be a really good quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, did he come out and say that?
He came out and said that basically every team was dumb for not taking him and that he'll be a very good quarterback in the NFL.
You should have taken him as Bo Nix's
so.
backup then. Put your money where your mouth is, Sean.
Yeah.
You could also.
That was the only thing where someone said that, so I was like, oh.
Everyone's replaceable.
The conspiracy about the Browns owner mailing in the call, I agree, because that clip when they showed the Browns room, like the looking of reacting to them drafting Shedeur, the GM and the coach looked absolutely less than enthused that they were making that pick after they already took Gabriel. Like it makes no sense that that's when they did it. I'm pretty sure the owner was like, "You guys need to take Shedeur Sanders. Like this is enough."
Yeah.
If I had to do like a lie detector and bet money, I do not think Kevin Stefanski and the GM were like, yeah, let's take him.
Well,
I think that was a call from the top.
What Miles Garrett said at the end of the season or when he signed his contract, he said that the Browns have a specific plan in place.
2 QBs and 2 running backs?
And they're just like, well, I don't think the Browns' plan was to re-sign 40-year-old Joe Flacco, trade for Kenny Pickett, who's been bounced around, draft 2 rookie quarterbacks, one being Shedeur as your last pick in the draft. I don't think that's a plan.
Yeah, they drafted Judkins and Dylan Sampson. What draft is
2 running backs, 2 quarterbacks.
A lot of NFL teams are going to go to 2 running back system.
Mason Graham, though, nice little value trade back there.
And Nick Chubb.
Yes. Nick Chubb is dead.
Can't play football anymore. At the end of the last year.
Yeah, because they felt that because it was a good omen for like fans to show up. Be like, here's Nick Chubb's last ride.
He's not listed on their depth chart right now.
Yeah, he can't play football anymore.
He didn't re-sign. All right. Either way, though, like so they draft Gabriel Sanders. They signed Flacco a week ago, and they trade for Kenny Pickett. They have to cut like 3 of those guys.
Yeah,
they're not going to cut Deshaun.
Well, Deshaun's on IR the whole year, so I don't think he counts as a roster spot.
Correct.
So they have 4.
They have 4 QBs.
4 QBs.
Cutting at least one.
Yeah, it's between
one of those
Gabriel and Shedeur. Which one's going to make it? Which one's
Pickett, not? I would say Pickett's probably in the same race. He's very good.
Flacco's the clear favorite. No,
Flacco's starting the first week.
Super Bowl champion.
The other 3 are just completely up in the air. I would not be surprised if Kenny Pickett got cut.
No, me either. That was a mess. Also, this is old man yells at clouds, but then the clip of him jumping in his pool celebrating. I understand it was a stressful weekend. That felt like a loser mentality to me. That's like I want you pissed off in the facility throwing footballs in your backyard, and instead he jumped in the pool after getting picked in the 5th round.
It's all about me. Look at me. Look at me.
Anyone that has like 5 cameras following him the whole time.
Now, I think I'm going to root for him.
You're such a loser.
Everybody hates him. It'd be a good story if he could turn it around. I mean,
it would be impressive.
Root for the underdog.
I don't hate him. I hate the media trying to force it down my freaking throat every freaking draft pick.
It was surprising.
Shit happens every single year.
Well,
The fifth was
Daniel
I'll give you
Jeremiah, who
this.
I respect, he said he's never seen anything like that happen.
The fifth was crazy. The fifth round was crazy. Like that is
NFL
like,
team said, "F it. If you don't want to be coachable or throw in pro days or throw at the combine after you get invited, this top prospect, then shit, we don't need you."
Hey, he
That's
did throw
fair.
his pro day.
alarmingly, like TB12 is his guy who's now making decisions for the Raiders, and they passed on him 1,000 times, and they could use a backup quarterback. I mean, Aiden O'Connell could get in a competition with Shedeur, and TB12 didn't even say we should draft this kid in like the 5th round. So that tells me a lot as well. Like your guy who's in the league was like, nah, don't really see it.
Pete Carroll's all about locker room. He ain't taking that.
You
chance.
see the Eagles were taking him the next pick.
I don't believe that.
That's why the
shit.
Browns
Really?
moved up. Yeah.
Tanner
See me-
McKee competition. Oh, they did take
me
Cal
hurts.
McCourt, so yeah, they probably were in the market for.
They were going to take him.
Interesting.
I don't believe that.
They love to stockpile QBs. That's what they do.
Is that what they do?
Yes. Kenny Pickett.
All right.
That's
to
what
our
Nick
draft.
Jeremiah said.
Our draft, we didn't do anything crazy in the first. We stayed
Let's
pat.
let Evan start with a rant. Let's just
I
get
don't
him
have a
angry.
rant. It's-
Evan, do you want a big picture rant, or do you want to go player
Saturday
by player?
night, Friday night. You were a little upset, Evan.
Friday night chat was in a bad spot after the Tesla pick.
I was laughing. I thought it was funny.
I don't really have much to say.
You do though.
I don't.
do.
Fire
Let's bring it out of
to
you.
us, Evan. We know you have something to say.
I don't.
You
have
think that we're
much.
going to
It's
finish last in the North? That's what you said. You said every
I
team
don't
is better
think we've
than us
improved
now.
our roster overall in areas that it need key improvements. I don't think.
We don't think
done
we've
that.
improved at all
No,
from the end of last season to right now. Zero
No.
improvement.
I don't think we've improved our roster.
Are we talking like? Are we? This is an interesting conversation. I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm saying, are we like baking in the injuries, or are we saying like? Because obviously we're getting better because we're getting healthy.
Which matters.
So that like our roster from what we watched in Ford Field against the Commanders will be better in week 1 because of who will be returning to the field. I think. But I see
Fully
your point
agree.
of like acquisitions. I think DJ Reed's going to be better than Carlton Davis. So I think that's an upgrade. But I
That's
see your point
Big
of
ask.
like free agency draft. Sure. We didn't necessarily like go get a huge splash. We kind of just made additions around the margins. But like
But we got
Commanders,
which does
Commanders
matter.
defense, that unit that played the Commanders versus week 1 is going to be better. Week 1 will be better.
Should be significantly better.
What we said last year too. The year before that.
No.
Well,
This
our
is
defense
not-
was
we're
good
not
to
having the same
start last
conversation.
year. To start last year, our defense was good. Through the
How can
Cowboys
you think
game.
that we wouldn't be better with Hutchinson, our linebackers?
I'm just saying they're still on our roster. That's what I'm saying. Like our
Yeah.
roster hasn't got better, or we're just like
Well, we're talking on the field.
I'm talking our roster.
Last game
I'm
of
talking
last
our,
year.
I'm not talking active roster. I'm talking our entire roster, injured
All right,
or
so
not.
back
saying
up.
names on
Let's
the
back
paper
up.
from
Names
last year
on
to this
paper,
year.
we have not gotten better.
Okay, fine. Back up. What week did Hutchinson get injured? All right,
Pulling it up
pre-Dallas.
now. Week 6, he got hurt.
Week 6 in that game against Dallas before he gets hurt was
Dallas is
that
overrated.
roster good enough to win the Super Bowl?
No,
If we would have asked you in that moment, right at that time, the answer would have been yes. It wouldn't have been close. You would have said that.
no.
Yes, you would have. In hindsight, you're
I
saying
told
no.
you. I will tell you and always will tell you that the Lions can beat the Cowboys anywhere, anytime because the Cowboys
That's
are
not.
always overrated.
It's not about the Cowboys. It's about the team at that point.
Yeah, I would say we could have.
We
could have
weren't.
won the Super Bowl. Yeah,
We were not thinking, oh, we're going to lose in the divisional round.
favorites
We're thinking,
to win
oh,
the Super
we're
Bowl?
very good.
No.
Favorites, no, but get there, yes.
Home field versus
Compete?
the Eagles
Yes.
could win that game. Yes.
Sure,
So that's the roster.
but
we're
whatever
talking
words you
about.
want in my mouth that week.
That's the roster, though. So it's not like
Okay,
we
I'm talking
are
about the
fourth in the
entire-
NFC
all
North
the
now.
names on that roster that week, regardless of injured or not.
Yeah.
The roster that we currently have is not better. It did not get better, and you're supposed to get better in the offseason.
Fine. You're entitled to that. But I would just ask you then, that roster that we're just talking about was probably top 5 roster anyways in the NFL. So it's not like we just all of a sudden are worse. We're still very good. We're still in the top 5.
No, we actually are getting worse because other teams around us are getting better. I don't think we have a top 5 roster.
No, you don't think so?
No.
Teams. Eagles, Chiefs.
Ravens,
Bills. Looking across the board.
I mean, you're not going to tell me the Packers, Vikings,
Rams
or Bears
have a better roster than us.
I don't think so.
LA Rams. They did make the playoffs. Stafford, Puka, Devontae Adams, Tutu Atwell.
Their defense is better than ours.
Kobe Turner.
Jared Verse.
I think ours is better than the Rams.
You could argue the Bucks. You could argue the Packers.
Packers is really the only threat to the North that I see this coming year.
So, regardless of that, fringe top 5. So anywhere in the range of 5 to 9 is what you said. Basically.
Can't be lower than 7. Can't be.
My thing is, like, I want to be okay. So if I'm top 5, I want to be 2 the following year, and we're not that. If I'm top 10, I want to be top 5 in rosters, and we're not that.
We also have to think we're a player development type of team. Like, guys are going to get better.
TA's got to get better. TA should be better than week 1 last year.
If guys get better, and we're a very young roster still by NFL standards, and guys continue to get better, you're going to be better. Your roster
Jack
will
Campbell,
be better.
Evan, he will be better. That's my word to you. As a Jack Campbell guy, he will be better.
Hutchinson was having a career year. You hate him, and you said he sucks.
DPOY. He was the DPOY.
He was looking like he was going to be the defensive player of the year in the entire NFL.
He was, Alex.
That's what I said.
That's wishing candy and nuts.
I did the classic, what's the free agency thing where like someone gets hurt. I basically told myself for edge rusher because
Okay. Also, depth was a blaring issue with this team.
That's fair.
And we have not signed enough free agents. And then going into the draft, you already have 6 picks. And then you give up a bunch of more picks. You give up picks for future to add future depth to your roster. That's what I have big confusion about that.
Offensive line depth, though, I think we addressed that.
We didn't get injured on the offensive line as bad as our entire defense.
Correct.
I could care 2 shit. One offensive lineman depth is good for draft for me.
Okay, but I'm looking at our. Let me pull the charts.
We're projecting our offensive line because right now has 2 years left. Decker is a walking pile of potatoes.
He's not that bad.
Your opinion. He's a top.
He's
a top 15 left tackle, so he's serviceable. He's fine.
Left tackle, pass blocking left tackle. No,
he's a lot of teams would like to have him. A lot.
Okay, I mean, this is my biggest thing. If you say Marcus Davenport's name, I'm out.
Fine.
Because you cannot rely on a guy that's always been injured the last 3 years.
Fair. I mean, it's not as dire. The one kid.
Who the F is Grant Stewart?
I don't know. Where is he at? Oh, here. I don't know where that name came from. I don't even know. I mean, it's a little bit better.
Muhammad is not very good, Grant.
No, he's not. No offense to him.
Royce drafted him.
There's no debate about the questions about edge. That's going to define this draft for Brad Holmes in the next year. It's just that's the only thing that people are going to latch onto, which is fine. And again, as a Hutchinson guy,
good D tackle depth.
Yeah, and I actually think Mekhi Wingo. I'm going to buy and hype on him. I think he was solid before he got hurt last year. He's out.
Play.
Right, but I do think Tylee can start day 1. I think that kid's good enough. 28th pick. I guess that's our review of him. I do think that he is good enough. Kind of guy I forgot about in the draft. He has good plays against Michigan.
Don't you want to draft people that are going to start and contribute to the team?
I think Tyreek Williams is going to play a ton.
One draft pick is going to start.
You're talking about first round picks.
Tate Ratledge could start. I don't know if he'll beat Glasgow, but he has the stuff to start or by end of year. In year 1.
Nick Saban says he's bad at pass protection. So
I mean, it's not like we had tons of picks in the top 100.
Because I guess traded some of them away, Gillen.
Previous seasons, yes, right? I mean,
this year we did.
There's only one head scratcher.
We don't have to trade picks to. Everyone wants to Brad Holmes so much how good he is at drafting. Okay, you can still find
look at the team we have. He is good at drafting.
He is good at drafting.
I get
Can't
that,
blow
but
him for that.
you're saying it's not like we have a bunch of draft picks to begin with. Okay, then the draft picks that we do have, let's not get rid of all of them to trade up for a Hillsdale kid.
We don't. It's tough because we don't know. Like, this kid could be a star, and then we'll be like, oh, Brad Holmes has done it again, or he'll suck.
But
And we'll be like, oh, Brad Holmes sucks at
offense?
drafting.
Hey, do we need a star position on
going to
offense?
define the draft. I know it.
It's tough.
gonna
It's a tough spot for the kid to be in, for sure.
I know, and I want him to do it. But also, Evan, like, are we banking on Princely, Amuna Lehman, and Jordan Birch just being impact day one starters? I guess, like, that's the question I always ask myself. With this pick, it's a crazy trade-up. I agree. It was like, whoa, that is a lot of third-round picks. But at the same time, am I banking on Land, Jackson, and all these guys to actually, like, be good? I don't know. And I will remember these names. Josiah Stewart, yes, that's a guy, selfishly, I watched, and I thought he could impact from day one. I do think he'd be good. We drafted him for a reason. I think in our mock draft, he'd be good across of Hutch. So, yes, in my mind, I'm telling Brad I wish he would have taken him. But I will be keeping eyes on those four edges because those who will define this kid, unfortunately.
Well, the Oregon kid's more of like a 5-tech. 3-4 defense.
But to your point, like, if we're trying to find a starter instead of trading up for that, I guess those are the names where, like, you have to take somebody. So
aren't we all tired of just having one lone dude out there trying to get all the sacks?
I am. I want him to have help.
Yeah. Yes.
Tyleek will help him. Tyleek is a force that you have to give attention to. Tyleek's not going to get a lot of sacks, but he is going to, like, demand attention on the offensive line to, like, cover him because he's a unit. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're asking a lot of Levi O to start and all these guys. I mean, the Ahmed, we'll get to the Ahmed guy. Maybe he shows something of grit. Maybe he can jump Muhammad and then you have someone. I honestly, no joke. I know I joked about it, but for who did I say? I said if Derek Barnes beefs up and someone else cuts a few pounds, like, I wonder what they're going to do with Derek Barnes. Because if we're talking ourselves here, you have Jack Campbell and Alex Anzalone. Loney, right? Loney? I'm out of seat. Loney. Like, you have three linebackers that deserve to be on the field at all times. As that kind of Sam linebacker, like, Derek Barnes also came into the, like, out of college as an edge rusher. Do they try to move him more to edge rusher? Because remember, Jack Campbell, they lined that kid up as an edge rusher to start his rookie year, which was crazy that they made him do that. But do they try to be like, you know what, Derek, you're going to be more of a pass rusher this year than anything else as a linebacker?
Barnes could do that if he wraps up in the backfield. He could, because he's fast. If he uses his arms, he could probably be an okay edge rusher. I don't know why we sit here and we do the whole, like, Brad Holmes doesn't know what he's doing. Like, he's had a few bad picks. Like, every GM is going to have a few bad picks.
Know what he's doing.
His hit rate is so high compared to the rest of GMs in the last 5 years that I don't know why we just sit here and question it every time. We don't know better than him. I'd love to know better than him, then I'd be a GM, but I'm not.
I don't think I questioned it last year.
I just don't know why we're going to act like, oh, we're going to suck. We're fourth in the North, like all the crazy texts that I received. Like, why do we think that? We've won the NFC North 2 years in a row. We went 15-2 last year with
and it didn't get a shit,
playing
Alex.
defense.
It didn't get a shit. It didn't get a shit.
The injuries happened.
Didn't get a shit.
They happened at a historic rate for us last year.
Making excuses now for that roster that you love so much.
You don't love it? You don't?
Brian
Lions are
Holmes
good?
and his genius of drafting to get some depth too.
This is my point. So you're automatically questioning him.
Quit holding on to salary cap. I'm not questioning his draft. I'm questioning the roster construction as a whole. We need depth on defense, and we haven't established that defense.
Best offense in the NFL. We are. We're the best overall offense in the NFL.
It's insane to look.
So we do have that, and no one's left from that.
I'm not talking about that.
So we're just going to score 40 a game, Evan.
I just don't like. Why are you?
Good thing the last time I watched our defense, we gave up 50.
The Commanders game is still pissing people off, Alex. That's what it is.
I know, but we just had the two best Lions seasons in our lives, and we are now, like, turning into ungrateful, like, brats because we think that we know more than Brad Holmes. That's what's happened. Because we lost to the Commanders.
I know more than Brad Holmes.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general. I'm saying that's what the fan base has done.
I feel bad for Isaac Tesla. He's like, put himself.
No,
he got shoved into a bad spot.
Yards, and people are gonna be like, "That guy sucks. We didn't need him." Like, it's just.
Oh man,
I don't get it. Like if we come out and we're like terrible this year and we go 4-13, sure. Then get the pitchforks out. But I don't know why we're doing it on April 27th.
Evan, viewed it this way. We basically drafted the either first or second best edge in this entire draft class. Aiden Hutchinson coming back. So that's how I'm viewing our draft pick. He's back. You can argue Abdul Carter. He's done more than Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter could have a better career than Hutch. But at the minimum, we got the number 2 defensive edge coming back as our draft pick in this class.
Not how I'm seeing.
Yeah, but Grant, people won't like that because if we get injured, we don't have any depth, and then we're going to suck.
If we get injured like
That's
last
the
year, then
process.
we should give up. We should fold it in because that was insane. It was the only one was like the nail in the coffin as we just started dropping like flies everywhere. And in the secondary, we had to get back to Vildor.
Excuses, Grant. Those
We
are
also forget about
excuses.
Rakestraw. He was a second-round pick last year. They thought he was going to start from day one. Got hurt. So again, to Evan's point, is fair,
Excuses.
especially Davenport. Is we can't just
Davenport
say
is the
these
problem.
names.
Yes, I don't like him. I don't want him. I don't need him. That's fine. We're going to re-sign Zadarius Smith
Probably.
for cheaper.
We probably are.
Great locker room guy.
Yeah, I can't wait
Yeah,
to have
that's
that guy
actually
back.
scary.
I
Just
guess my
sucks.
biggest issue is I wish we went all defense. That's my biggest issue.
It was
I do
interesting
think we
to
needed
learn.
the guard. Like a
We
guard
love
is fine.
offensive line.
Happy with that.
We love offensive line.
I'm not upset with like drafting the offensive line or
I think the LSU pick, the guard from LSU, we picked him because he was just too good of value to not.
everything. I would have gone defensive line, linebacker.
The wide receiver pick, yeah, I mean, fine. I mean, it was a crazy
So
move.
first pick you were good with, Evan.
Yeah, I mean,
We got one.
position.
it is what it is. Like, did many people grade him that high? No. Am I an expert at drafting in my big board? No. Would I like to
I
see
guess who did you want at that point?
somebody different? Sure.
Anyone specific?
Jihad was cool, but he has also some injury concerns as well. That's why he fell that far. He
Jihad
torn
would've been
labrum
nice,
in his
but-
left shoulder following the combine.
I didn't know what we would do with him.
You'd be
Correct.
like Derek Barnes.
Then you're also throwing them into like the fire of
Who's
The
the
next
first
edges.
edge taken?
Weren't until here.
I always said that I wanted to trade out of that first pick. That was 28 because somebody wanted to go up there. But
Yeah.
But let it be known, we did try to trade up later in the draft for certain edges, and no one bought it. Brad Holmes did say that in his post draft press conference.
I just wish I would have known. Like, was he the best player available on your big board, or was he like your position of need? That's who you're just drafting.
For Holmes, I think from listening to
He
him,
just
he doesn't
dressed
care
his
about
board.
need at all. He
That's
actually,
why I think he rubs people the wrong way because he doesn't look at need. He just drafts whoever he thinks is the best player.
and he gives off like the smartest guy in the room vibe sometimes when he talks like that to the media, especially. Because I'll give credit. There's a lot of media that throw softball. The Detroit media, from each night of his posts, you could see it wear on him. I watched all 3 nights after he would go talk to them. They just kept every other word was edge, 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 and he was just like, I am sick and tired of talking about edge rushers. Like he didn't mean it. He didn't say that. You could tell that's what he's thinking. He's like, I understand the concerns about depth. That's totally fair how last year went. But like, he just sat there and took the bullets and was like, I am picking football play. The way he kept saying is like, which I kind of get, but to Evan's point, when you lose the Commanders, those words suck. But he was like, everyone wants like, take the position, take this position. He's like, well, a football player has to play that position. And he goes, I draft football players. I don't see like, I'm not drafting the position. So he's like the football player has to match.
Maybe
in that
saying
case,
he can move guys to wherever he thinks they can play. I guess I don't know.
maybe subconsciously. But again, I understand every fan's point. We're like, and I also want help for Hutch. Overall,
We need an edge rusher, there's no doubt.
I mean, I think if you eliminate Tesla because he was a controversy, but like taking Tyleek, Tate, and Miles, I think those are 3 potential starters. We look at start not this year, but start of next year. Like I think those are starters that could play here for like 5 years. I do think those are guys
I
that
don't think Miles is going to start over the 2 over Mahogany and who's the other dude?
Glasgow?
Awasaki.
I think he'll beat out him.
I think he.
What I could see happening is
this year. I think it will at some point.
Tate Ratledge probably more so than Frazier based on size. I think Tate Ratledge could be your center, and then Frazier and Mahogany are your two guards in like 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, because Frank is going to retire.
Yeah. Although he is 6'7", that's kind of a tall center if he plays center.
We have 3 offensive linemen coming, like leaving soon, so I get it that you don't want to draft them the year that you need them.
Offensive line is our bread and butter. I mean, that's what got us.
I get it.
That has to be good. Always has to.
But like on paper, like you only 5 of those dudes can start, and you already have 2 All-Pros. You have a veteran left tackle, so like, how much playing time are they really going to get?
Yeah, I mean, to put it very clear, it's a nut up or shut up year because we don't have our coordinators anymore. It's just Dan and Brad. I'm about to find out what happens. So, and maybe all the concerns are warranted, and maybe we will suck. And then it was all just coordinators.
Tougher schedule, more primetime games.
I also don't think to talk more about players.
Better, I would assume. I don't think the Vikings here and there, they got better in different positions, but they're going back to a rookie quarterback that hasn't thrown the football.
Vikings will be closer to 500.
JJ lights it up in his first year. That's
JJ's not lighting up,
but I just don't see that happening in the first year.
Well, if you throw the ball at Justin Jefferson, he has a chance.
True. It's probably a pretty easy job for him.
Vikings will be closer to 500 than they were this year. Packers will be better. Packers, I don't get. They're another team where, like, I think if you look at their players on paper, I'm not sure what they really did. They added Golden and another receiver. They just started throwing receivers at an already deep receiver room they like to claim. So I don't really see.
Yeah, like Golden receivers in the North.
Golden's awesome. So that is going that sucks. He was my guy. I think he's a stud, but like I don't think they necessarily got remarkably better going into this year. They probably will be a little bit better than they were last year. So I think they're our stiffest competition. And simply with the Bears, I was not a Caleb Williams guy coming into the NFL. So him and Ben Johnson have to prove it. They could be 500, sure, but like they're not. I'm not taking them seriously until they beat us twice in one season and win the North. So if you like, the odds will not be that. I think we're plus 125 to win the North. I think we should be like minus 250. I don't think that. And I do think we lose more games, no duh. I think maybe we go 12-5 and win the division.
Yeah, 15-2 is crazy. That's not.
But I don't. Like, are we going to get? We've owned the Packers the last couple of years. We should split with them, I guess, with their quality, but we've swept them. And we played Pat O'Connor at defensive nose tackle against them and won.
The second win was crazy.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. That's how you get humbled fast. But I think we should be minus 250 favorites for the division, regardless of what they're all doing around us. Bears, Lovin's sick, but like Luther Burden adding into that receiver room, I don't know. They're just throwing weapons at Caleb Williams too. Like, we're just going to run the ball down their throat. I don't understand what we're like. We're just going to maul. We're just going to mash.
Yeah, I guess now the free agency's over, draft's over. Like the floor of the Lions, we're still a playoff team at the worst case. Feels like we're a wild card team at the worst case.
I mean, it's us and the Eagles in the NFC, and then the Commanders because they beat us. I'll give them respect, but yeah,
I'm saying like worst case scenario. That is probably what we're talking about. Evan, feel free to comment if you think it could be worse, but
a plucky 7 seed is our floor. Sure, I don't know.
So it's not like we're in trouble. Coming off the best season in Lions history, besides the playoff result, like
I
we're
don't know
still
how we can say it's the best regular season.
Best regular season. Only time we've ever been to
we
one
raise a
seed.
banner that says you won nothing.
The NFC North.
I like divisions.
Yeah, listen, Evan, the game sucked. We'll never get over it. It'll forever haunt us. The Niners game will forever haunt us. But we're still a good football team. We still have Dan Campbell, our fierce leader, who's at the Pistons game today, wearing a red hat and a blue T-shirt.
They handed that to him when he walked in for sure, because that red hat was like off some rack.
Yeah.
What do you say, Evan? Last what?
Nothing. I didn't want to say it. Just piss off Alex.
No, it's fine. You can say it.
That's okay.
If we suck, I will give you credit. I'll be like, you're right. But I just don't want to sit here right now and say we're going to suck. I don't think that's fun for me. But if you want to do it, you can.
I'm not saying we're going to suck. I just, like, the expectations for us to dominate again is very unlikely in my eyes.
I like that mindset. That's going to be a more fun season. I feel pressure. I feel the weight of having to win the North again on my shoulders. I wear that cross every day. Like, we are the bad boys. We need to win this thing. Whereas if I was
I fully agree in the sense I don't think we're going to dominate the NFC again and the NFL again like we did last year. Don't see that happening. There's a lot of like different variables, like schedule, and like to actually go 15-2 in a regular season, a lot of things have to fall into place. But a lot of things went against us too, and we still went 15-2. So you don't know. I don't know.
Unless John Morton is like the worst OC ever, we should average 30 again, which is hard to beat week in and week out. I mean, we have Jameer.
Interesting. No Ben Johnson. No
New Jersey jinx.
Jameer is gonna have his Hall of Fame level year this year, and then
you can sit in your DC room all week. You can sit in your defensive coordinator meetings all week and be like, all right, we got to stop this kid. You're not going to. He's just too good of any player you have.
Dude, he's going to be so good this year.
But the road games are quite, I mean, you're talking Washington, Philly, Cincy, Baltimore, Kansas City, LA Rams.
You could lose all those, and then you're the plucky 7 seed.
But Giants in Cleveland, thanks for the wins. Dallas, thanks for the win.
We're going to get
Minnesota at home. Chicago at home.
Almost lost Chicago at home last year.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, I think split.
But we're playing Thanksgiving, right? You mark it up as a 50-50, you never know.
That was when we were like peak, just getting decimated.
Yeah,
that was when the slide was happening. Like Alex said, Miles Frazier, I think he was a great pick. He was like ranked 80th on some big boards. You get him in the 5th round, deep in the draft. There are highlight tapes on YouTube of Ratledge and Frazier, not to go too X's and O's, but again, it's the highlights. You're not seeing them get dusted by defensive linemen. But like
Frazier never gave up a sack.
Yeah, 2 multi-year starters in the SEC country. Ratledge, one little thing about him, I don't know if this is a scout thing or not. I feel like he has very quick hands. When like a rush would happen, I always noticed he would punch the defensive lineman first, and it would like shock them for a second. He's got like stout, just quick hands that kind of neutralize a rush. That was my one tip from watching ball of the highlight tapes. Nice things about Isaac Tesla. He's a great hands catcher. He catches everything away from his body.
Never dropped a pass.
He's athletic, don't get me wrong.
Smooth.
Never dropped a pass.
Their quarterback also sucked. The kid that he was a running back, basically. No offense, he was an athletic, but like he had 500 yards, which doesn't look great. But like I don't know how many balls he was throwing that were actually catchable throughout his career at Arkansas. So take that into consideration when you look at his stats. Yeah, but he's 6'4", blazing fast. So I mean that's cool.
Before you keep going, what did we say Gibbs had to do to warrant the pick? He had to be like Alvin Kamara, and he's better. Yeah. So we'd say now probably. Pick.
I don't think Tesla's going to warrant that pick because it's pretty hard for him to get on the field.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. I'm saying what does
Tesla need to be
for the trade and all that hoopla that Brad pulled off? That I would like to say on the record, I did not want to trade 2 third-round picks in the future for this guy. I did not.
One's our regular third-round pick, and then one's our compensation.
But like, what does this kid need to do in year 1 to be like, oh, okay, fine?
Play in all 16 games, not illegally gamble.
I mean, if we're being honest,
seems like a shot at someone.
I don't need him off the field, but I like Tim Patrick. But like, I think ideally by week 15,
he's the third wideout.
Is like Tim Patrick and reliable to pick up third downs in our offense.
Healthy.
That's a low bar.
Your expectations are low for this guy. Be on the field.
Everything that they were talking about is that he's a project and they hope he's good in a couple of years.
They say that?
That's everything that I watched and read from
11th most receiver
on TV, but
11th most
what is his
receiver is crazy.
Is there an athletic score, Grant, of this kid?
9.9.
Yeah, it's insane.
11th best of all time for wide receivers. Something crazy.
11th best of all time.
Yes. It was something insane like that.
So your main top 12, you have Calvin Johnson, and then this.
He was 29th out of 3,816 eligible receivers from 1987 to 2025. So height off the charts, weight, bench, strength. Vertical was huge. Broad jump, huge. 4-yard dash was 4.43. 20 and 10 slower, and then shuttle and 3-cone. agility, great.
He did not look that fast on tape.
No, but that's kind of how J-Mo looks sometimes. Like, he just glide by people and like, oh, he's faster than everyone. Again, horrible quarterback throwing him the ball.
It'll be interesting because we'll see if him and Goff can get on the same page early, quick.
I think he's going to be disgusting at like drag routes and across the middle.
Gunner on punt. Yeah.
Well, he has to be a special teams hero too. Like, I need to see that. Like, you got to contribute in other ways until you get,
He's probably our punt returner and kick returner now, right? No. Do we still have Khalif Raymond?
Khalif.
He got injured too, right?
Yeah, at one point.
Well, he had the Tennessee Titans game of his life.
That's sick. Yeah, that's sick.
That was a JV game.
All right, so this is the new Craig Reynolds on kick return. So he's the other guy back there. For sure.
Who was the big white guy that we had? Durham?
Yep.
I was like, is this going to be Durham? Chris Durham.
No, this kid better be better than that.
He's the Duncan Robinson of the NFL. I tweeted that out. He came from D2, nowhere, and then got drafted.
I just didn't like giving up all the draft picks. That's my biggest thing. I don't have an issue drafting the kid. I don't really.
If he's Marvin Jones,
surprised by it.
That would be Marvin Jones.
Good. It'd be solid for a third.
Kenny Galladay at his peak. I don't know.
200 yards catching every ball from Matthew Stafford. Yeah, not happening.
They are kind of built.
Do you remember how good Kenny Galladay was?
6'4", 214. Drafted wasn't he in the third round from Northern Illinois? They kind of have a sneaky similar.
He sucked though after.
So
I've
my dad,
another grown football player get
third round
kidney shot and still caught the football like Kenny Galladay did.
Dude, thank God we didn't re-sign him.
How did he fall off so fast though?
He thought he was better than he was, and then went to the Giants.
Matthew Stafford, Exhibit A.
We have jerked off, so we're fine.
Another conversation on this was my dad texted me, and he was like, is this J-Mo's replacement? And I think that's an interesting conversation. Too early to tell.
I think
yes. Alex thinks no.
Yes.
I think it's an interesting conversation. I don't think we have any
interest in losing J-Mo.
Now that you're going to have somebody like in
makes
the
it easier.
system.
Oh, yeah.
If this kid's good, I could see
we picked up his fifth-year option, so we technically still have 2 years left to J-Mo.
2 seasons.
You need 3 wideouts, though.
You do, yeah.
I'm well aware.
We have Laporta.
With Laporta and Gibbs, you have 4 pass-catching options, reliably.
And in fairness, I guess, like, we don't really have big-body receivers. I mean, Tim Patrick, but this dude's
we could use a big guy. We could use
like, you have Khalif and you have a minor running out there. J-Mo's a vertical threat, not the biggest and not running
Laporta's like
anytime soon.
Laporta's
the biggest guy, so like I get like the big body receiver.
I don't think this is we're getting rid of J-Mo move personally. I think you need J-Mo because you don't find guys like that. They do not grow on trees.
See, Tim Patrick's 6'4", but he's also 30-something years old.
And
he's a Tim Patrick this year replacement and next year. And then I think depending on how good this kid is, we have the J-Mo conversation. But he does not play like Jameson Williams whatsoever.
I think we're extending J-Mo at this time next year.
Wow, that would be spicy.
Well, yeah,
J-Mo depends on how his year goes. No, if J-Mo has like 1,500 yard season, I don't know.
J-Mo has to wait his turn. We can't re-sign everybody the same year.
He'll be next year.
Not draft. The cap to go up. You got to wait for some people on the roster to lose.
But how many J-Mos like that skill set are there in the NFL? It's not very many.
To be honest, the longer that you wait, the more expensive J-Mo gets. So that's just
right. So pay him now, or not now, but pay him next summer.
Yeah, but as long as J-Mo doesn't come in and says that, as long as J-Mo doesn't come in and say that I want more money than a minor, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, those negotiations would be interesting to watch.
J-Mo's not all pro, Alex, so there's a lot.
His skill set, how many guys in the NFL really have that?
A lot, because there's a lot of players are very skilled at actually being on the field to play. J-Mo's very good at not playing.
He played all last year, besides, 4 games? 2 games?
So he did not play all.
Is his skill set
1,000-yard receiver?
Is his skill set hitting home runs?
Game-breaking speed. Game-breaking.
Yeah. I mean, Tyreek Hill, Jefferson.
Bad completion percentage, Alex.
He's faster than Jefferson.
Jaden Reed kind of has some of that in his game.
Jaden Reed also
bad completion percentage.
JMO caught the ball very well last year.
Completion.
JMO's awesome. I'm not. There's no.
I don't want to get rid of
lost.
him. That was one of the things that pissed me off all week. Everybody wants to trade JMO. I think that's
JMO's sick. JMO was put in a
I didn't say
horrendous
you.
spot.
I said
Being told to throw that
a lot
ball.
of people.
That was a coaching.
Yes,
everybody.
People are still pissed about the JMO pick in the playoffs. That was not his fault.
No, that was a coaching
There's
fault.
5 people on the roster that are untradeable, untouchable.
Sewell.
JMO's not one of them right now.
Correct.
Amon-Ra, JMO,
Somebody
Goff.
called and they offered a good. I'm listening.
Or
I'm
not
not
JMO.
saying I would still
Sewell.
do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Touch.
But I don't like. He's really good.
Goff is not an untouchable. I would listen.
Better be in something good.
Better
Yeah,
be
that's what-
someone sick.
Yeah, like who the are you trading him for?
Yeah, like if you're telling me we get Kirk Cousins at defensive end, no.
No.
Like
Yeah.
no.
Alex
I'm not
gets
taking
Shedeur
any-
Sanders and Abdul Carter
No.
and 2 first-round picks.
No.
I'm not doing that.
That means we have to suck for a couple of years.
More than a
No.
couple.
We're not
forever.
I'm not entertaining offers for Goff unless it's a QB that's better than him. And
No,
there's
because then you have to like hope you
5 of them.
draft a good QB again, which is the most stressful thing to do in football is to hope the
no,
quarterback hits.
God no. We have a quarterback. That's something that's definitely
Howard.
untouchable.
No.
No.
Josh
Please.
Allen.
God no.
Yes.
2.0.
Yes. Yeah.
No.
I would
Will
take
Howard.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen 2.0.
Josh Allen.
Josh
yes.
Allen, yes. That's it though. It's
Sam
like 4
Bradford.
quarterbacks I would trade him for.
This kid's a 6th-round pick, so I guess I shouldn't be excited, but I fell in love with Ahmed.
I didn't watch his
Fascinating.
tape yet.
He's powerful, Alex. He's powerful, man.
I was
I
looking at
didn't
the
like-
stats against
I-
Penn State.
Saw his frame and I didn't like it for an edge rusher. I thought he
looking at
was
the
too
stats
big.
against Penn State and Oregon. That'll tell you all you need to know.
Price
Was
is
he
okay?
okay?
Those games.
I'm sure that it wasn't okay. I'm just telling you.
Oh.
Those are the 2 biggest games.
I
that
thought
Oregon-
negative
Oregon
Evan was
they had.
still in the chat.
I was busy coaching. I didn't have a chance to sit down and watch the draft on Saturday. I apologize.
I have not
6
seen it.
tackles, 1 sack versus PSU. Boom.
That's better than Hutchinson in big games.
Oregon, 5 tackles and a sack. Come on.
Evan, better than Hutchinson in
He's a
games.
player.
You have to give me credit for
Well, it
that.
doesn't
All
take
right,
much.
let's
to be
not do better than
Hutchinson.
Hutchinson things. That was crazy. I know we're joking about the mentorship, but like Hutchinson, or again, defensive player of the year. Like,
You guys
come
know
on.
he's the first Egyptian ever drafted.
Yes, that's a sick fact. Also, he's like barely started playing football a couple years ago.
Also, he
Ziggy Ansah
proposed
2.0.
to his girlfriend after he got drafted.
Also, on the phone with Dan Campbell said, "I will die on the field for you, coach." Quote: "I will die on this
Yeah.
field for you."
That I love. That's
He did.
good.
You guys should watch that clip. It's insane. He's like
I love
he's like
that.
possessed in his eyes and said, "I will die on the field for you, coach."
I love that.
I think this kid's gonna win over our hearts. All the beat writers said this is the best like instant interview they've ever done with a prospect.
Well, I hope it's not like a Rodrigo, like everybody loves him, but he's actually not very good.
No, Rodrigo was fine for the year. He came from Egypt, and everyone like in Egypt said, "We'll see you back here in 2 weeks. You're a bum. You won't amount to anything." And he get drafted, and he told Dan Campbell, "I will die for you." I love this kid.
Yes, he's kind of big though. 270 for an edge rusher. He
That's
looks
kind of
chubby.
That's kind of Brad's type. That's how Pascal was. Pascal
It's
wasn't
like Davenport chubby. I want faster, nimble guys.
I know, that's why I wanted Isaiah Stewart so bad because I thought he was perfect for that.
Isaiah Stewart plays for the Pistons.
Sorry, Josiah Stewart.
Isaiah
This kid,
Stewart might have to rush the passer for us this year on the other side.
Dan
He probably
Jackson's
could.
making our roster. He is going to light people up on special teams.
He's a white
Have
kid,
you guys-
right?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you see the screenshot? He is a walk-on. Kirby Smart. He basically is Kirby Smart. He's
What does that
you should
mean?
like Kirby Smart was like a scrappy white center for Georgia or a safety for Georgia, and Kirby Smart was like good, like actually good. And this is basically Kirby Smart reincarnated. Just scrappy white kid, was a walk-on, 6 years, ended up starting there. He lights people up. Like he throws his body. You watch his tape of the highlights on YouTube in SEC games, just lighting people up on swing routes. He's not
But
going to
he's
start.
like,
probably
he's never going to
forever.
play.
No, he's going to lay the boom on special teams. I guarantee he makes this
We
roster
bring
through
the
that.
boom.
Yeah,
So he'll be a good special teamer.
awesome special teamer.
Our new Jalen Reeves Maven.
Captain
Gotta
of
play
special
Jackson.
teams. Captain of special teams. Yeah, he's sick. And then this kid, I don't know, but I remember watching them play, being like, "That's actually he's an athletic player." I love it, kid. He plays more like Jameson Williams than anybody. He just doesn't have the home run power.
Yeah, so he's not very good. That's like that's like 90% of what J-Mo does great.
Yeah,
and he can't do that.
This is Dan Jackson on the football field.
This kid's getting cut. Dan Jackson? If this kid got cut.
No, this kid,
Dominic Lovett.
No,
cut.
This kid is going to be the captain of our special teams for the next 5 years. Heat-seeking missile.
Looks ridiculous.
Dude, let me find a clip of his. They have phenomenal.
So you think you know Wicks?
No, I don't.
Phenomenal cut-ups of athletes. Let's get some Dan. Look at Dan Jackson circled here. Georgia Tech. You want to bring the boom? Rizzler? Lit up.
That wasn't very good.
All right, Alex doesn't like him.
That wasn't very good.
Mississippi State.
Too high.
Run my way.
Gotta get down into
Filling.
the box. You're an alley player.
All right. That was good heat seeking there.
Talking shit to the sideline. Georgia
No
Tech
shit
again.
talking.
Feasted. Whoop. Quarterback. Boom. Wait till you see this
All
replay.
right. That was nice.
Well, he's the one that
No.
forced a fumble.
No, he concussed Haynes King into
he was the one
week.
that forced a fumble. That was a big moment in the game.
Watch him stick his
8
head down.
overtimes.
Horrendous tackling technique. Dead on arrival. Balls out.
That was a big play in the game.
Lucky he didn't break his neck.
Correct. We're going to have to work on that in Allen Park.
Tennessee. He's going to talk so much shit on special teams. Why is he so far back?
Boom.
It had to be.
Oh! That was nice. It's nice.
Ole Miss.
Good.
You want to see some ball skills from Dan?
Sports.
Boom. Pick in the rain. Going the other way. Dan.
Everybody's picking that off. We're all picking that off.
That was the 24th pick in the draft, though.
That was a first round pick. Duck.
Milrow, you want to play against Alabama? Justice Haynes, lit up. See ya, Michigan product.
Current Michigan player, not a product.
Texas, you want to see him against Speed? Got it. See ya.
Why are we watch? The only guy we watch tape on is a 7th round pick.
Yes. Brock Vandegrift.
This doesn't count.
No fly.
Sucks.
It's Kentucky.
Any teams you saw out there that you thought had great drafts?
A lot.
A
lot of teams.
Like who?
Let's hear it. Commanders, I thought they did a good job.
Falcons thought they did a good job.
Eagles, they always seem to do a good job.
Okay, Evan, their trade-in for James Pierce was psychotic. They gave up their future first-round pick for that kid.
I get that, but right now on paper, they got 3 different players.
But Evan, you can't tell us you hate to mortgage the future and then be like, that was awesome. It's not
good player.
Future, so I
didn't say I would want my team to do that. I just said that was good for them. They did well. But you also have to, to counterpoint to that, Alex, you also have to look at the division that they're in. Very winnable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't mind the Cardinals. Oh, that's a very good draft.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I don't know about Cody Simon, but
question mark. Will Johnson.
Their top 3 picks are.
Although I think Will Johnson's going to be a bust. I think he's Jeff Okuda.
Starks, I guess, is good. Mike Green, question mark.
Starks is very good.
Probably
Mike
be
Green.
fine, I guess. I'm not going to go through all of them. Who was the I screenshot? I like the Seahawks. I thought they had some dudes.
I said the Commanders.
The Zabel kid. This guy's an athletic freak. I like this tight end. Milrow, not really, but I think those first 3 picks were solid for them. You like the Commanders draft with Connerly to start, and then you like Amos, and then you
just because I like Trey Amos.
Okay.
Eagles. They
the
just
first
get every Alabama guy.
Makuba's an eye test guy. When I would watch Texas play, which was at least like 4 games, I was like, who's this Makuba kid? He's a stud. So they did a good job with those 2 picks. They didn't really have much else capital besides that.
Shit, who drafted?
The Steelers did our bit of drafting every Big Ten player.
Steelers had a good draft.
I honestly don't know if they had a non... Okay, no, that's Big Ten Central. So they did Big Ten, Big Ten, Big Ten, Big Ten, Big Ten, Big Ten Central.
And Big Ten feeder program.
I really like the first 3 picks.
First 3 picks are solid.
Caleb Johnson's definitely good. I mean, he wasn't good against Michigan State on that day. Never forget. Minus his 80.
Giants, you got the best player available, the best player in the draft. So
yeah, if what's his face?
Niners.
If Jackson Dart has
people are saying Niners did not do well.
Well, they got Michael Williams.
I like that CJ West kid.
He's not the best player in the draft.
Damn, they need a defensive line bad.
It's good though.
Looks like. Who was that good? Oh, we know that.
Carter's the best player in the draft.
They get flash. Giants get flash.
Oh, I liked Miami's first two. I thought Kenneth Grant and this guard from Arizona were solid.
Everybody says
Ollie Gordon,
the Miami
preseason Heisman.
Who knows?
6th round pick. God, that guy fell.
All right, Alex, Rookie of the Year right now. Way too early, Rookie of the Year. Name them. Go.
Abdul Carter.
Okay. NFL Offense Rookie of the Year.
Cam Ward.
Genty.
He's gonna have the best chance to win because he's gonna play.
My future Hall of Famer, Genty.
Defensive Rookie of the Year, Alex.
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Travis Hunter.
Mason Graham. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Mason Graham could be nice though, because there's a lot of attention that goes to Myles Garrett on that front, and he just gets to kind of just do.
We know you.
But Abdul Carter, yeah, if he's healthy out the gate, he has.
He's already
Dexter
on a
Lawrence,
good D line.
Brian Burns.
They don't even need him.
Yeah,
They can get rid of Thibodeau if they wanted to.
Trading Thibodeau for sure.
The Lions.
To the Lions. To pair
That would be
with Hush.
something, wouldn't it?
He's a turd
full
and a half.
circle moment.
He would never be allowed in our locker room.
What do you guys think about the Jags trading up for Travis Hunter?
I think their GM's a psychopath after listening to his press conference. He's a weird dude.
The way, did you hear the call when they called him? It was so strange how he talks.
There was rumors that Travis Hunter already knew that before draft
When
night.
they interviewed him, he said they didn't even talk to the Jags, other than at the combine.
That's what I read.
And the Jags just traded up and took him.
Dude, I don't the two-way thing. I don't see that.
But
I don't see it working.
Why?
Which is fine if you want him to be the receiver. I just no one's ever done it, and I know it's like Grant. Someone was going to walk on the moon.
Jaguars,
we figured it out, but like nobody does that. You don't
Jaguars
play
need
that high
somebody.
level ball both ways. You don't.
But he's a freak.
He's going to be sick for jersey sales. But it's the Jacksonville Heat too. You're telling me he's going to do 100 snaps or like 85
He's from
snaps?
Florida.
He hasn't played in Florida.
I mean,
in
Charles
forever.
Woodson won the Heisman too. He didn't do both ways.
Yeah, he might not end up playing both ways, but he'll be like a gadget on offense.
I'm saying if he doesn't
Like
play both
Dion.
ways, I don't see. If he does not play both ways, though, I don't know why you trade up and give up like that much capital for him.
That's a valid point.
I guess it would be interesting to see like what both ways means. Like, I don't think he's going to play every snap like he did in college. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd like to see
lot.
which way the Jaguars prioritize him. You
It will
prioritize him on
be.
offense or you prioritize him on defense?
Brian
I
Thomas
think
and
you
Travis
would-
Hunter as your wideouts would be sick.
I think everyone would say that like defense is easier, and then you have a couple plays on offense instead of vice versa. But
Well, I think
you tell me you
from-
can't just like play 15 snaps in the slot on offense and then play
I
full-time
think
defense.
defense is hard to learn schematically week in and week out against your matchups. I think offense is pretty.
You have to play on defense.
So you have to
That
start
playbook
defense,
and
learning
learning.
defense.
How much learning he'll have to do is, yeah, I can't even
Scares
imagine.
me. Yeah,
That
It's making
he's
me
gonna
nervous.
Have 6 binders to learn versus like a D tackle's got 1 binder.
and knowing how Colorado ran their program, I think it was like see ball, get ball. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be a different level in Jacksonville of like.
I do think Travis
Well-
Hunter's a much better kid than Shedeur, and like he's pretty bought into football, so I'll give him that.
Yeah,
find
did
out.
you see that it was the cringiest question of all time from a credential? This is why Colby needs to be big time because this question this guy asked, he said, "All right, Shedeur, give me this scenario: 3rd and 10. Shedeur or Travis Hunter, wide receiver, goes up against Travis Hunter, cornerback. Who wins that matchup?" And he just went, Travis Hunter." It's like this is uncomfortable as all can be. What are we doing? Alex Gillen, wide receiver versus Alex Gillen, cornerback. 3rd and 10 game on the line. Who wins that matchup?
Wide receiver, because
Evan
Alex's hips
Cadmus.
are not good enough to win.
Whoa! Yeah, wide out, I'm getting open for sure on my
Hands good
quarterback
enough
ass.
to catch the ball. Hips not good enough to cover anybody.
What about you,
Yeah.
Evan? Is DB winning that
Probably true.
matchup?
I'm working on my hip flexibility.
DB's winning that.
All right. I think that's a show. That's 2 hours. The Tigers are playing great ball. They'll be talked about more as
I
we
got
go
some
on.
stats for you before we leave.
Do it.
Everybody's been saying these stats, but I screenshotted these stats.
Stat of the day. Zach McKinstry is playing great baseball.
He's leading our team in average.
Crazy.
Gone 8-1 in the opening games of a series.
Pretty
Have won
good.
the first 2 games in 6 of our 9 series this year.
Pretty good. Remember when Grant called a must-win in like the third game of the season?
Yeah, what
12
was
and 12
was
and
that
3 at
against?
home.
Because we got swept by the Dodgers to open the season.
Correct. 12
We
and
did
3
win
at
it,
home.
though.
Best ERA in the American League. Best record in the American League. The boys
Fun fact,
are
at a
hot.
work happy hour, the question was who has the best ERA in the American League right now? And I got it
Casey
right.
Mize.
What team?
Oh,
Detroit Tigers. I think the question was geared towards me.
I can't stop thinking about when Evan said, like, comparing it to the staff from the 2010s era. Like, it really is. Everyone that goes out there, I'm like, yeah, he'll probably only give up like 2 runs maximum. And we'll just go from there.
It's tough because there's only like 180 billion games left. So, we got a long time waiting.
we're
But
what, 17 and 10. We're 27 games in.
18 and 10.
We're 18 and 10.
28
Yeah.
games in.
We were 2-4
We're
after
50%
our
weight on.
Dodgers and Seattle series. So I said the Friday home opener was must win versus the White Sox. And we did 3-4.
I think we swept the White Sox.
We did.
We started 2-4, so we're 15 and 6 cents.
Before we go, how
Houston,
many eyeballs are you guys getting on? Yeah, they're in Houston this week. Fun fact.
you got to get there, dude.
I think they're day games.
Job on what? Oh, yeah, during the day. No, 8:10 on Tuesday night, Reese Olson. Tomorrow night, Flaherty,
Tough
8:10.
matchup.
What's your question about eyeballs?
Like eyeballs on games this year for the Tigers, 30 games in. I mean, how?
Significantly more.
I've bought Amazon Prime.
Yes.
You can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
that's
get to
why
add
it's-
on to your subscription, but yes.
Yes, it's the
All right,
monthly
that-
fee, but it's so much
I think I'm
easier
gonna do that.
technology-wise to do. Amazon Prime is a
And
great
Alex,
app.
you can buy if you buy for the whole season. Well, at least for me, I bought for the whole season. It was cheaper than if you buy monthly.
I've been doing some illegal streaming, and then I gave up, and then I just started watching YouTube highlights afterwards.
Well, I would also have a lot more if I was in Michigan during that FanDuel promotion, but I wasn't, so I kind of missed out on it.
So you're telling me I can get an Amazon Prime add-on and I can just watch it anywhere? Doesn't matter my
Yes.
location. Because I can't watch it on FanDuel Sports Network because I'm not in Michigan. Even if my parents have it, which they do.
I'm pretty sure if you add on to it's FanDuel Sports at
But if
On
it's
Amazon
location-based and I get the Astros, I'm going to be pissed.
No, because I did FanDuel Sports and during when the Tigers were playing day games, and then after the Tigers get over, I think I can click on another MLB game.
All right. Well, anyways. That's
Look
the end
into
of the I will.
That's it. Cheers.
Cheers. Happy May.
18 days until Jordan Spieth wins the Grand Slam.
Gonna be May.